final 2 weeks from now. And, of course, the Grey Cup game in 3 weeks' time. And the two teams we have going tonight could be involved in that national championship. You'll meet my fellow commentators Dale Isaac and Frank Rigney when the CFL on CTV continues in just 1 minute.
This game brought to you by Carling O'Keefe, brewers of OV, the Carlsberg family, and Miller High Life. Carling O'Keefe Sports, your box seat to the CFL. We're bringing you more games than ever, a full interlocking schedule of exciting matchups. With new powerhouses and renewed rivalries, it's wide-open football CFL style. Catch all the action from your home box seat. Carling O'Keefe Sports, bringing the sports world home to you.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the final Saturday night game for 1983. Ottawa Rough Riders, of course, started the season slowly, as usual, but then they won 7 out of 8, clinched second place in the Eastern Division, mainly because of Skip Walker.
Well, no question, he's been a major contributor, but I think the real key in that Ottawa Rough Rider lineup all during 1983 is J.C. Watts. His absence or his presence. He will not be playing football for the Riders tonight, but he will, as we understand it, be back for playoff time.
And Ottawa looking forward to seeing J.C. Watts next week. Prince McJunkins will be the starting quarterback tonight. We all love that name, and we'll see how he does against the BC Lions, who, of course, have wrapped up first place, will host the Western Division final. Roy DeWalt is back for them.
Well, of course, Roy DeWalt is the premier passer in the Canadian Football League in terms of percentage completions, in excess of 60% so far in 1983. But this is a football club, Dale, that really has not played well offensively over the last 4 or 5 weeks. They wrapped up first place, of course, right here 2 weeks ago on a broadcast that we did against the Hamilton Ticats. But they were really embarrassingly poor in terms of offensive production last week against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They are very definitely not taking this game lightly. They think it's a very important game. They get back on track, particularly offensively. The defensive unit has really carried them as of late. Let's go down to field level and our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, rule may be loved in all thy sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true, strong and free, from far and wide, oh, stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
The Rough Riders and the Lions are all set, and we'll have the opening kickoff in just a moment.
If you own ColecoVision, you already own a powerful state-of-the-art computer that gives you the arcade experience with the newest arcade games like Donkey Kong Jr., Looping, Pepper 2, Time Pilot, Mr. Do, Space Fury, Frontline, arcade controls like Turbo, the Roller Controller, and new Super Action Sports. And soon you'll plug in Atom, the revolutionary ColecoVision family computer module with new super games, keyboard, and printer. ColecoVision, the only system you'll ever need.
Who sold the most small copiers in North America last year?
Oh, I'd say Xerox.
Oh.
Number one, huh? How about Number one small copier? Sharp.
Right. How'd you know?
Simple. I sell copiers. So I know Sharp doesn't cut corners to cut space. Their small copiers do big jobs, so they sell big.
You don't seem very happy about it.
I'm not. I sell Canon.
Sharp, the #1 company in small copiers. From sharp minds come sharp products.
Louis Basaglio will kick this one off. 3 men back deep for the Ottawa Rough Riders. It'll be Dave Newman from the 10-yard line. Newman finds an opening through the middle and takes it back out to near the 35, where he's tackled by Dave McNeil, number 45, new linebacker for the BC Lions, replacing Glenn Jackson. As you look at the Ottawa offensive alignment, McJunkins the quarterback in place of the injured J.C. Watts. Newman, of course, lines up as a slot back. Stokely, Carl Powell in the ball game. Second straight week he's played. Tyrone Gray is back. Moret Ford is injured. Stephen is replacing an injured member of the Ottawa offensive line, Tim Hook, at left guard. First down, Prince McJunkins with the play-action fake to Skip Walker, and he's in trouble. He gains a couple of yards. Kevin Konar, number 31, from his outside linebacking spot, holds McJunkins to a gain of 2. That'll bring up second down and 8.
Very quick move by Mac Moore, number 78, who leads the BC Lions defensive unit in terms of sacks.
15.5, and McNeil replacing the injured Glenn Jackson. Cruz, Konar, the other linebackers. Second down for the Ottawa Rough Riders. The ball now at their own 36-yard line. Duncan steps up, throws, completes it to Mike Collymore, I believe, number 31, and he'll have enough for the first down. He hit immediately and dropped by Kerry Parker, number 17. Collymore, number 31, in his second year from the Etobicoke Juniors, picks up the first down for Ottawa. Parker lines up at the left corner. JoJo Heath is back in the lineup after missing last week's game against Saskatchewan. Bert Crawford and Martin. Crawford, of course, the leading interceptor in the CFL in 1983. He has 11 going into this final regular season game. First down, Ottawa, 47-yard line. Just underway. Skip Walker, his first carry of the night. He turns it upfield and has a gain of 7 yards to the Ottawa 54. Brent Brissett, number 74, making the tackle for BC.
Great block by Rudy Phillips, number 67, right offensive guard, who was, of course, the outstanding offensive lineman in Canada last year and is a finalist in that category once again in 1983.
Walker picks up 7 on first down. Ottawa looking at second down and 3 from their own 54. This time the fake to Walker. McJunkins knocked down, intended for Tyrone Gray. JoJo Heath, number 26, breaks it up, and Ottawa will have to punt the ball.
Jim Reed very upset that the young quarterback did not spot him. Watch Reed, number 32, coming out of the backfield. It did not appear that any BC Lion defender was near him. He should be on the left side of your screen. See JoJo knock that ball down. Well, Reed did not come into your picture. He was, well, there he is, right at the corner. He was wide open.
Sure was. Ken Clark into punt. Former Saskatchewan Rough Rider. Short kick. Crawford will make that JoJo Heath, moving up to take it across the 25. He's up to about the 28-yard line. That's a 36-yard kick, 8-yard return, no score at BC Place Stadium. We'll be back in a moment.
There is a special feeling in Oldsmobile.
What makes the new Oldsmobile Forenza a whole lot of fun to drive? A whole lot of things. Olds Forenza has front-wheel drive, available 5-speed, peppy 2-liter engine, and handling that's real sporty. But what makes this fun-to-drive car special is that it's an Oldsmobile. So it's not only fun to drive, it's fun to arrive.
There is a special feel in an Oldsmobile.
Miss Canada, Miss Manitoba, Jordy Rutledge.
It's a salute to the women of Canada, the 1984 Miss Canada pageant. Join host Jim Perry and the former Miss Canada Dominique Dufour as 38 of the most talented and beautiful women in this country vie for the title of Miss Canada. A star-studded evening of entertainment as the 37th annual pageant gets underway, live from Toronto. The 1984 Miss Canada pageant, a CTV special, Monday, November 7th.
Back in Vancouver, Dale Isaac with Frank Rigney, Al McCann, the entire CTV crew. Roy DeWalt is back in the lineup to lead the BC Lion offense. He sat out last week in the game against Saskatchewan because of a slight knee injury, not too serious. He needed a rest anyway. BC with the ball for the first time tonight. They're at their own 28-yard line. No score. Approaching the 3-minute mark of the first quarter. Ray Strong is the lone setback. John Pancras takes the pass and steps out of bounds at about the 32.5-yard line. A short gain. It'll be second down and about 6.
Dale, in conversation with Roy DeWalt before the game, he was telling me about his knee injury, which I know you're familiar with. it is a cartilage problem. They are going to give it that scope business after the Grey Cup or whenever the BC Lions end their season. He tells me he expects to play a half the game tonight, maybe a little more if he's feeling good.
They certainly missed him last week against Saskatchewan. 2nd down and 6. Pankratz again. And again, he steps out of bounds. It's Ken Miller providing the coverage. 41-yard line, 1st down, BC. Offensively for the Lions, DeWalt, of course, is the quarterback. Ray Strong and John Henry White are the running backs. Briers and Pankratz, the inside receivers. Fernandez is lined up as an outside receiver along with the rookie Jacques Chapdelaine. And the offensive line, 12-year veteran Al Wilson at that center spot. This is 1st and 10, BC. Fernandez. Finally knocked out of bounds by Junior Robinson after a big gain right down the sideline. They really stepped out at the Ottawa 44. 25-yard gain for Fernandez.
Well, he gets by Charles Cornelius, number 22, the cornerback on that side, and obviously the BC Lions are going to throw to their right. All 3 of Roy DeWalt's passes so far have gone in that direction. Fernandez just doesn't quite get his balance here. He might have scored. He's got excellent speed. Junior Robinson came over to get him out of bounds.
BC now in Ottawa territory. 1st down at the 44. Again, he throws right. Pankratz open. Wrapped up by Al Washington at the 32-yard line. It's another 1st down for the Lions.
Boy, oh boy. Roy DeWalt not hurting his average as he completes the first 4 passes of this ball game. 61% completion average for Roy. 1983. 21 touchdown passes, only 16 interceptions. An excellent ratio for any quarterback in the pro leagues these days.
Certainly is. 1st down Lions. The ball now at the Ottawa 31. Into the middle this time, and John Henry White is there at the 25-yard line for a gain of 6. Rick Sovietta, the linebacker, making the stop on White.
Dale, I think the Ottawa Rough Riders are going to have to bring more people. You can see the front 4 up there. That's all they're doing now. They are not stunning. They're not blitzing, and BC is getting far too much time to throw that football. Roy is just picking them apart. 5 straight completions. That's an excellent front 4, by the way, of the Ottawa Rough Riders. Greg Marshall, of course, the outstanding defensive lineman in the Eastern Division of the CFL. Greg Doolin, Mark Seal, and Jack Williams, who plays either in an up position or down. He's number 59. They're good.
2nd down, 4 yards to go. First incomplete pass of the night for Roy DeWalt, trying to hit John Pankratz deep in the end zone. He's now 5 out of 6 for 56 yards, and it brings in the field goal unit.
Roy knows that Pankratz was wide open back there, too. That was 6 points had Roy had thrown that ball a little shorter. And one of the most popular BC Lions ever, Lou Pasaglia, will come on for his first field goal attempt of this evening's contest. A lot of BC Lion fans not very happy that Lou was not picked as the outstanding Canadian in the Western Division of the CFL in the Shenley Award ballots. They felt he deserved it.
He is the CFL scoring leader. He has never won a scoring title. John Pankratz will hold, 32-yard line. It is good. Lou Pasaglia connects with his 38th field goal of the year. They'll open the scoring here at BC Place Stadium. The Lions out in front of the Ottawa Rough Riders by a field goal. And we're coming right back in just a moment.
Grandpa, computers keep on getting smaller. Why, I bet one day there'll be a computer no bigger than my math book. I'll do my homework on it, learn how to program, even create graphics and sound effects. Oh, wow!
NC10 from Radio Shack, the little computer you can use in a big way with your TV. Sale priced for Christmas giving.
Bet you just can't wait for a Christmas pack from Radio Shack.
You're in control, how's it gone by? It wasn't so long ago you got the old plane to fly. To test your skill and do something new, with good friends to see you through. Make it a Carlsberg, make it a Carlsberg, make
George Brancato has never missed the playoffs in his 10 years as head coach of the Ottawa Roughriders. Guided them to a second-place finish this season. They will host the Eastern semifinal a week from tomorrow. Against either Hamilton or Montreal, those two clubs square off, as it should be, in the final day of the regular season to decide the third and final playoff spot in the East tomorrow. And that game will be on the CTV network. Pat Myers and Bill Stevenson, Lee Pedersen at the Big O in Montreal. Hamilton against the Concord. McJunkins goes to Skip Walker on first down from the 35, and he's got another first down out at the 50-yard line as he just battled with Tyrone Cruz for yardage.
Yeah, you think he's not tough to bring down? Tyrone Cruz is 235 pounds, as big as any middle linebacker in the country. And Skip just hauled him on for about another 5 or 6 yards.
He's compiled over 2,200 yards total offense, running, receiving, and kickoff returns. Another look at it. 15-yard gain for Skip Walker and a first down out at near the 50-yard line.
A low center of gravity, tough to bring down.
Skip Walker on the draw. Brent Reset met him at the 50, and Walker had enough momentum going. He got out to the 54-yard line, so it's a gain of 4. Second down and 6.
Everybody very pleased as BC Lion fans, and Glenn Jackson will be back in the lineup for the playoffs, but this young guy, Dave McNeil, number 45, does a pretty admirable job on that play. I'll tell you, the ladies around the country will like him. He's a good-looking dude. Looks a little bit like Robert Redford.
All right. Reed is open. He makes the catch. He bobbled it momentarily, takes it to the BC 45-yard line. Bird was there for the Lions, along with East and Konar. It's a gain of 11. First down. Injured Ottawa Rough Rider on the play, back at the Rider 50-yard line. Skip Walker's down. There you see him throwing a block or going low on Brent Reset.
Duggan, of course, got a couple of completions in this drive, but he certainly doesn't look like he has an overpowering arm the way he's delivered the football in the last couple. Took off and ran for almost 150 yards, however, in the last outing of the Riders.
Mostly a runner out of Wichita State.
I asked Brancato, I said to him yesterday, are you telling the youngster not to run quite so much, you know, trying to avoid injuries to the quarterback? He says, heck no, he's the kind of quarterback that has to run with the football. That's his forte.
First down, Ottawa, BC 46-yard line. Jenkins is on the move. Good move on Ty Cruz for the first down at the 34. Kevin Konar made the tackle for the Lions. Cruz had him lined up, and he just gave him a little move right and went left. 12-yard gain.
Dale, I want to show you what happens to Reuben Vaughn here. He's number 79. Rudy Phillips, 67, is blocking on him. And if this is not a hole, I don't know how you call him. Watch 67. It was not called. It's a first down for the Ottawa Rough Riders.
Just inside the BC 35-yard line. 3-0, the Lions in front. Jenkins doesn't take long to get out of that pocket and run with it. Forced out of bounds by Cruz near the 30. The gain of 4, bringing up second down and 6. If you missed it earlier today, Toronto finished the regular season with a 33-9 victory over Winnipeg. Argos with the best record in the CFL at 12-4.
Bill, I'm not trying to pick out all the holding calls against the Ottawa Rough Riders, but once again, watch Kev Konar. Easy linebacker on the right side, number 31, and Mars Doyle, number 39, just grabs his shirt right off the back of him. 2 straight plays that the Riders got by with a little grab.
Second and 6 for Ottawa. Jenkins finds Collymore again. He's got a first down. He gets up. Stop at the 20-yard line. Melvin Bird got over there, number 10, to put the stop on Collymore, his second catch of the evening, and they sustain the drive.
A very comfortable place to watch a football game. BC Place. The weather is dreadful outside, but they don't care.
Certainly don't. 40,000 plus on hand again tonight. Maurice Doyle takes the pitch from McJunkins. He stopped at about the 17, 18-yard line. Kevin Konar again making the tackle. Skip Walker out of the ball game for the moment. He suffered a scratched eyeball last week in the game against Montreal, and it was only late in the week that they decided they were going to bring him and let him play in this football game. But he is now on the bench after being slightly injured a few moments ago. Maurice Doyle, number 39, replacing Walker.
He did not practice all week, Bill. That's right.
Spent 2 days in bed. Jenkins is quick, put on a couple of nifty moves, and he gets to about the 12. Maybe short of the first down by a couple of yards. Konar again was there and helped to bring him down along with Dave McNeil, number 45. So we'll see Jerry Organ.
Boy, he looks kind of tough to corral. Watch the moves that the young guy puts on.
He's quick, isn't he?
He sure is.
So Jerry Organ will be trying almost a 20-yard field goal, actually spotted closer to the 19, and Ken Clark will do the holding. Ken Clark, of course, is the punter. About a 19.5-yard attempt. Oregon trying to tie the ball game up with 5:15 remaining in the opening quarter. Jerry Organ is good with his 29th field goal of the year, and we're all tied at 3. And we're coming right back to BC Place Stadium in a moment.
Have no illusions about the shape of things to come. There's a new generation of Buicks out there, the young Buicks. Consider Buick Skyhawk, performance and sophistication in elegant formation. Buick Skylark, contemplate its high-spirited combination of economy and luxury. Let your imagination run free with the wind-sculptured form and high technology of Buick Century. This new generation of Buicks employs robotics and electronic scanning for precise fit and finish. They feature new fuel injection and turbocharging. The 1984 Buicks. The young Buicks.
Kevin Konar, number 31, has made a lot of tackles for the Lions here in the opening quarter, discussing defensive strategy with the Lions defensive coordinator, Steve Barato. Ottawa Rough Riders have just tied the ball game up at 3 on a field goal by Jerry Organ, and now Organ will kick off from his own 35. We have 5:12 remaining in the first, tied at 3. Ray Strong, Larry Crawford are back deep for the Lions, standing near their 15. Low line drive type of kick, moving over to take it, Larry Crawford. Big hole up the middle. Larry Crawford takes it out to near the 47, 48-yard line. And the BC Lions get good field position as the offense comes back onto the field.
You can see that wall forming in front of Larry Crawford, and boy, he uses that excellent speed of his to get right up the center of the field. Good field position for BC.
Mike Graffey, reserve linebacker, making the tackle for the Ottawa Rough Riders.
He's the captain, Dale, of the Ottawa Rough Riders specialty team. Does an excellent job.
19 years ago, the last time the Lions went first place, the ball to the rookie Jacques Chapdelaine, who's playing as a wide receiver this week. Last week he lined up inside.
I think they were trying actually to hit a stop-and-go pattern to Merv Fernandez on the bottom of your screen there. Chapdelaine, secondary receiver, does finally make the reception. The gain is going to be about 6.5, 7 yards.
Chapdelaine, the rookie out of Simon Fraser, tackled by the rookie from UBC, Steve Harrison, Ottawa's #1 draft choice this year, number 34. Second down and 6 for BC near their own 53. Jack Williams, the ball gets it away to John Henry White. He's met by Rick Sovieta, number 75. He'll be close to the first down at the Ottawa 53. Gonna measure it.
Bill, while we have this measurement, I'd like to pass along Don Matthews, the head coach of the BC Lions. First of all, to pass along our sympathies to Don because of his loss of his mother this past Thursday. He has not been with the ball club until today. He returned from that funeral, but he asked us very specifically through our facilities on ESPN to thank all of the friends of the family that passed along their condolences.
We are experiencing sound difficulties, which will be corrected in just a few moments.
We are experiencing sound difficulties, which will be corrected in a few moments.
Third down and about a foot to go at the 30-yard line. DeWalt keeps it, penalty markers. DeWalt has enough for the first down, but 2 flags are thrown. Offside against Ottawa. Possibly they lined up offside.
I think they jumped a little bit too, Dale. 2 or 3 linemen on the left side, inside of that Ottawa defensive unit that jumped. In any event, it'll be first down for the BC Lions, as this has been a good offensive football game. Both clubs moving up and down the field. We're tied at the moment. We're at 3 with just 2:05 remaining in the first quarter.
That's the first penalty of the ball game, and of course the Lions are the least penalized team in the league. That one going against Ottawa. BC first and 10 at the Rough Riders 25. Throwing to far side to Mark DeBries, number 3, and he makes the catch and is forced out of bounds and roughed up a little bit by newcomer Ivory Curry, number 27.
Well, I'm surprised the flag did not come down there. Reyes is about 4 or 5 yards out of bounds, and they're still trying to nail him. Ivory Curry, the culprit on the play, number 27. Watch it. He's more like 10 yards out of bounds by the time he's finished with it.
Didn't like anybody catching the football on his side of the field. Ivory Curry out of Florida is 5'11", 185. He's been around Ottawa for quite some time now, although they just had the chance to activate him. Charles Johnson not playing tonight. Second down and 1. John Henry White, left side of that offense. Don Swafford, Gerald Roper providing the blocking, and it's a first down.
That's Ray Strong, number 34, leading John Henry White. It's usually the other way around. As Ray Strong, of course, had the biggest night of any BC Lion back a couple of weeks ago here for 134 yards on the ground. Hello, pretty lady.
First down Lions. DeWalt going for 6. Again, he overthrows Fernandez. That is 3 times now that DeWalt has overthrown his receiver going to the end zone. Once with Pankratz and twice now with Fernandez.
Dale, you know, the next 3 or 4 weeks are going to be really exciting across the CTV Sports Network. The Vanier Cup, of course, on November 19th. Even before that, the Western semifinal game where you and Al and I will be in Winnipeg Blue Bomber Stadium. But the Vanier Cup is going to be just one of the series of major sporting events that CTV is going to have each weekend.
November is certainly football month on CTV. Second down and 10 Lions. Trying to dump it over the middle. It's knocked down, almost picked off by Greg Marshall, number 66. So the drive stalls on the last play of the opening quarter, and the BC Lions will have to settle for a field goal attempt when we come back. After the first 15, it's a 3-3 ball game. We'll return with the second quarter in a moment.
Carlsberg Light, all right. People here say it's one good beer. Carlsberg Light, all right. Cold as ice, it's one real good beer. Crack a cold one now and see why it's that light, refreshing taste for me. Carlsberg Light, all right. Raise a cheer for good beer.
The kangaroo, the kangaroo, save the baby, get to the top. The kangaroo hop, you're in luck as you can jump or duck. Just hop, hop, hop to the top, top, top. Punch out a monkey, eat a piece of fruit. Atari kangaroo, everybody salute.
Kangaroo, the hot new arcade game from Atari.
Winter, and Michelin engineers push themselves to the limit in the relentless pursuit of a winter radio with exceptional traction, handling, and safety. Result, the Michelin X MS1 with an aggressive tread that holds the winter road in a firm embrace. The Michelin X MS1, the winter radio. Michelin standards make all the difference.
We're back at BC Place Stadium for the second quarter. The opening play will be a 20-yard field goal attempt from Lou Pasaglia. Trying to put the Lions back on top. John Pankratz doing the holding. And Pasaglia is good on that one, and it's now a 6-3 ball game. As we get the second quarter underway, 2 field goals by Pasaglia against 1 for Jerry Organ and the Ottawa Rough Riders. BC Lions coming into the ball game with a 10-5 record. Ottawa at 8-7. First, Ottawa, a second half of the season club. They've won 7 of their past 9. As you look at the first quarter stats, the BC Lions with only 3 yards rushing. They only ran the ball once in that opening quarter.
I don't think you're going to see them running a whole lot in any quarter, Dale. They're going to live by the pass.
I was reading earlier today where this would be the first time ever that the Lions had a running back that didn't gain at least 400 yards this season, in a season.
500 yards, I think it was.
500. First and 10 for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Let's go to Al.
Well, I'm down with one of the semi-nominees, a finalist, Greg Marshall. Greg, I think it's something like 15 and a half sacks. You're having a heck of a season.
Well, it's been going pretty good so far. I hope I can have a couple more tonight.
Kind of nice playing here. Don't worry about the elements, eh?
Yeah, it's a little nicer than the snow we left in Ottawa, that's for sure.
How do you feel about your team now? Do you think you're ready for the playoffs?
Well, I think so. I think it's important that we have a good night tonight, you know, get a little momentum going into the playoffs, and then hopefully come up with a big game next week.
Good luck on the 24th personally, too.
Thank you.
McJunkins on 2nd and 10. Forced to run with the football, and he stopped short of the first down by Tyrone Cruz, number 50, the middle linebacker. He has a gain of close to 8, but the punting unit will come in on 3rd down and 2. Of course, Ottawa enjoying being here and playing in this ball game. They'd love to be back here on November 27th as well and playing in the Grey Cup game. A lot of people are talking Ottawa right now.
Well, Dale, I think the Toronto Argonauts might have squelched some of that conversation the way they blew Winnipeg Blue Bombers
They
away.
played well today, didn't they?
They sure did.
And, of course, the Argos will get to host the Eastern Final 2 weeks from tomorrow.
We'd like to send out our congratulations to those Argonauts for the best record in the history of the Eastern Division of the Canadian Football League.
Ottawa takes too long. They'll be penalized 5 yards. And congratulations to Terry Greer as well. Capped off a brilliant season.
What an unbelievable performance he put on today and all year long. And can you believe it, with all those receptions, he was actually shut out a couple of weeks ago? Did not have reception in one of the games.
Amazing, isn't it?
What two great finalists you have in that category. Warren Moon of the Edmonton Eskimos and Terry Greer, of course, of the Argonauts.
Still 3rd down and Ken Clark punting. Good kick by Clark. Drives Crawford back to his own 19-yard line. Crawford almost got outside, and if he would have, there was room out there for him to go. As it is, he returns it 17 yards off a 52-yard kick. The Lions out in front by a field goal. We'll be back in a moment.
At Bumper to Bumper, the first thing a new customer usually asks is, have you got the parts for? Well, in a word, yes. Bumper to Bumper is a chain of over 200 stores across Canada who pride themselves in taking care of all your auto parts needs, whether fixing cars is your job or your hobby. We're auto parts professionals. Depend on us to have the right parts, value priced, and a little friendly advice. So when you ask if we got the parts, there's only one thing to say. No problem.
Do it with Bumper to Bumper.
Galaxian Warriors, today we're going up against the most feared commander. And everyone counts. Even you, Quid.
Man your ships. Man your ships. Man your ships. We're going in. Assume attack formation. All wings ready, sir. Okay, I'm peeling off. Cover me. Cover me.
Roger on that, Blue Leader.
Heavy fire, 17 degrees. Affirmative.
This guy's good.
Watch your back.
We lost Blue Leader.
I'm hit. Who's left?
Quid.
No!
Quid, you're credit to your cartridge.
Galaxian, the arcade hit, now for the Atari 2600 system.
Bisaglia leads Oregon 2-1 in field goals here in the first half. That's all the scoring so far. The Lions have the football, first down at their own 31.5-yard line. 13-10 remaining in the second quarter. Roy DeWalt leads the BC Lions out of the football at their own 36-yard line. Ray Strong, his first carry of the night, to the 40. Stopped by Greg Marshall, number 66. Gain of close to 4.
Take a look at Greg. Right in the middle of your screen. He's working against two BC Lions, Roper and Don Swafford. Gets right between them and makes the stop. Excellent hit by the veteran of that defensive. You know, Greg Marshall and Mac Moore tied in terms of number of sacks for interior linemen. They both had fantastic years rushing the passer. 15.5 each.
Second down. DeWalt looking for Pankratz. He did not hang on to it. Or maybe they do rule it a catch at the 48-yard line.
Well, apparently he did have possession there when he stepped out of bounds. Freddie Fleming, our ISO director, has it for you and says that John put a great move on right at that 50-yard line. He sure did. Ooh.
Didn't appear.
Did he have that ball?
To control the football. But they give him the catch, and it's first down for the Lions at their own 48-yard line. Don Pankratz. Minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Lions on first down. Going for Fernandez. He may have taken his eye off the football momentarily to see that Ivory Curry was lining him up. There's a penalty flag at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, where that ball was thrown, there would have been no more than a couple-yard gain had he made that reception. However, the Lions do get a break, a penalty against the Ottawa Rough Riders. They're marching it all the way to the Ottawa 47-yard line, a major infraction.
Jim Hope Ross is the head referee, roughing the passer against the Ottawa Roughriders. First down, Lions at the Ottawa 47. Joe Pow in a backup role tonight, as he has been most of the year. Of course, he started the game last week in Saskatchewan, was intercepted 3 times. Walt looking to the sidelines and completes it to Fernandez. And he just stays right there for a gain of about 5.
Walt throwing the ball exceptionally well on this short ball control type of passing offense. They have not been successful in getting deep on the Ottawa Roughriders.
Walt is now 13 out of 16 for 110 yards.
It's not going to hurt the percentage completion, is it? 61% coming into today's ball game.
Leads the CFL in that department. Draw play to John Henry White, and it opens up for him. He has the big first down, tackled by the safety, Junior Robinson, number 28. White takes it to the Ottawa 32.
Watch how this hole opens up if we bring this one back for you. They had a shot at that defensive line, and watch how this hole opens up. A great block by Al Wilson on Gary Doolin. Not really a punishing type of block, but he screened him off very effectively.
The punishing block was thrown by number 63, Don Swafford, as he came across from that left tackle spot and wiped out the linebacker.
Yeah, that
Steve
was Al
Harrison.
Washington. Or was it Harrison?
I believe it was Harrison.
34. That gives you an idea how much ball clubs try to run the football. BC just going to the air, period.
First down for the Lions at the Ottawa 32. Mr. Pankratz, double coverage, but he almost got it anyway. Well thrown football. Curry was back there along with Barton defending against Pankratz at the goal line. Second down and 10.
John has been a busy man, and as you can see, Walt throwing right into double coverage. Barton and Curry both back there. Second and 10 now. Not a little slow getting back to that huddle of the BC Lions. They better watch out. They could be penalized for delay of game. They're down to about 12 seconds to get this one off right now.
Quarterback draw to Walt, and a great call. Fumbles the ball. The Lions get it inside the 5-yard line. We saw Joe Barnes make a great call on a similar play against Edmonton, and that's exactly what Roy DeWalt did that time.
Exactly what I was going to say, Dale. They stole one right out of the Argonaut playbook. And why not learn from somebody else? Argonaut's very successful on almost exactly the same kind of play. DeWalt casually holding that football, though, swinging it out in that left arm. The Lions very fortunate to maintain control. They recover the football inside of the 5-yard line.
27-yard gain.
I don't know what that was all about.
First and goal for BC at the Ottawa 4. Ray Strong hit in the backfield, and he is down. Ivory Curry, number 27, was the first man there defensively. It'd be a loss, 2 or 3.
Certainly have to suggest that this young rookie from the University of Florida is an aggressive defensive back. Boy, he was in that backfield before he could turn upfield at all.
Second and goal now at the 7.5. The short yardage blocking unit leaves, and all the receivers come back in for the Lions. Walt hit by Greg Marshall for a further loss. There is a penalty flag at the line of scrimmage. Greg Marshall, number 66, getting the sack on Roy DeWalt.
Outside, Dale.
Ooh, that's a break for the BC Lions.
I believe it was Doolin. Let's take a look. They jumped offside, number 69. One of them definitely moved rather quickly. Well, couldn't pick it up from that.
Unfortunately, the referee's mic is not working in this first half, or he's not wearing one. Possibility that they lined up offside again.
White saw a great play by Marshall.
So it's second down. Half the distance to the goal line, puts the ball back at the 4. Second and goal. And the Lions re-huddle. Less than 9 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. The Lions trying to increase their 6-3 lead at the moment over Ottawa. Lays it up to Fernandez. Not quite. That brings up third down. And we'll see Louis Pasaglia again with his third field goal attempt.
Just a touch overthrown as Fernandez had certainly good position on Cornelius, number 22. Almost made a fantastic catch on that. But DeWalt has had his problems overthrowing his receivers as they try to get behind the Ottawa defense.
Fernandez heads to the bench. Louis Pasaglia will try to make it 9-3. Pankratz will hold for him at about the 11-yard line. If he makes it, it will be his 40th field goal of the year. He is good. And so the BC Lions are now in front of the Ottawa Rough Riders by 6. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're in control. I'll drift on by. It wasn't so long ago you got the old plane to fly. To test your skill and do something new. With good friends to see you through. Make it a Carlsberg. Make it a Carlsberg. Make it a Carlsberg, my friends.
5 by 7, 8 by 10, 11 by 14, 16 by 20. Black's big, beautiful color enlargements are half price right now.
More beautiful.
Bring your color negatives to Black's enlargement sale and save half price on all color enlargements up to 20 by 24. Now that's beautiful.
Black's is photography.
3 field goals by Lou Pasaglia, giving the Lions a 9-3 lead over the Ottawa Rough Riders, and for Pasaglia, ties a club record that he set back in '77. Most field goals in a season.
Dale, somewhere among that crowd is a very, very famous BC Lion. Willie Fleming's here tonight. He's going to make a presentation at halftime to one of the lucky BC Lions linemen. This is a club presentation. We're hoping to get Willie up in the booth and have a chat with him a little later in the ball game.
First down for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Jim Reed, the ball carrier, stopped right about the line of scrimmage, possibly a gain of 1. Let's go to Al.
Thank you, Dale. I've got the second all-time scoring champion here, Jerry Organ, former Shenley winner. Jerry, must just be like heaven to come into this building. No worry about rain, wind, anything, eh?
Beautiful. I could play another 10 years here.
I understand you want to tell somebody back home something.
Yeah, I'm the last guy that should bring up birthdays, as you know, but I do want to wish my dad a happy birthday today. It's his 74th birthday back in Toronto. Happy birthday, Dad.
Jerry, have a good game.
Thank you.
Second down and 9. Junkins tripped as he went back to pass. I'm not sure if he just fell over his own feet or if somebody might have stepped on him, as happens every so often with the lineman, possibly.
I'll tell you what it might have been, Dale. He might have seen all this action coming. They got about 9 people rushing the passer here. He might have just said, I'm going to get down as quickly as I can. Watch this. Everybody's coming. Whoa. Look out.
So it's third down for Ottawa, and Ken Clark will punt. Crawford and Heath are the return men for the Lions. We have 7:24 remaining in the second quarter. Lions lead it 9-3. High snap. Clark in trouble. Clark tries to pass. It goes incomplete. The Lions will take over at the Ottawa 23.5-yard line. Big break for the BC Lions. They lead it 9-3 over Ottawa, and we're coming right back in just a moment.
You take charge, people, taking charge.
You know exactly what you want from your next car.
Taking charge in your own way. You're taking charge with Chevrolet.
Your best buy, period.
Take charge, people.
84 Chevy Citation 2. Versatile front drive, small car fuel economy, big car room for cargo or a crowd, and a price that's down to earth Chevrolet. 84 Chevy Citation 2.
Price the way you want to pay. You're taking charge with Chevrolet.
I adore my 64, my Commodore 64. I cook with it, scheme with it, educate the team with it. My Commodore 64. I pitch with it, catch with it, count my 64, the hatch with it. My Commodore 64.
64K memory at a price that will put a computer in every home, business, and school years before anyone ever dreamed.
I adore my 64, my Commodore 64.
Well, the first big break of this ball game, right before our commercial break, Larry Titley, the offensive center, snapped the ball a little high to Kenny Clark. Clark had good pressure on him by Melvin Bird, number 10, who winds up hitting the elder statesman in the punting department. Actually, he saved Ottawa about 10 or 15 yards by throwing that football away. He did have an intended receiver downfield at Doyle, number 39.
I think Clark is about 0 for 5 this year in the passing department. That includes the few that he threw over Saskatchewan. Roy DeWalt completes this one to Mervyn Fernandez, and a good move gets him a couple of more yards near the 21-yard line for a gain of about 7.
Yeah, I was watching Fernandez on the play, and he was open quite a bit before DeWalt threw that football. If he'd have thrown it a couple seconds earlier, that thing might have broken. See Chaplain out there as well, number 71, but what a great move he put on Ken Miller.
And Charles Cornelius finally forced him out of bounds. 2nd down and 3 for the Lions. Just inside the Ottawa 22. Lions trying to take advantage of the turnover. John Henry White, straight up the middle, has the first down. He's inside the 15-yard line. Ricky Barden, number 25, making the tackle on John Henry.
Turnabout's fair play. Watch Ray Strong, number 34, go up in there and try to open a hole for John Henry. It's a good piece of one of the interior linemen of the Riders. As we mentioned, it's usually the other way around with John Henry White blocking. You can see the Lions have dominated this football game from a first down point of view.
Ottawa has not picked up a first down in the 2nd quarter. Safety blitz. Touchdown, Mervyn Fernandez.
Had a good night against Charles Cornelius, number 22, and he's not that shabby a cornerback. He does a good job, but Fernandez has been going to the outside most of the time.
I said it was a safety blitz. It wasn't. It was a linebacker blitz. It was Steve Harrison who came up the middle, but the Wall got the pass away anyway.
That gets him going here at BC Place.
Sure does. Baglio will convert the touchdown by Mervyn Fernandez. Fernandez 10th touchdown of the year. And the Lions now lead the Ottawa Rough Riders by 13, and we have 5:59 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Much better-looking BC Lion team than we saw last week at Taylor Field.
I was just going to say, Dale, I think that Don Matthews was going to be certainly pleased with his offensive unit compared to the last 2 or 3 weeks, the type of performance they've come up with. They have not finished off their drives in recent weeks. That one they put in the end zone.
And now Crazy George has got them going section by section. He just stands at one end and points at the section, and away they go, they respond.
Well, this is becoming the well-known cheer here at BC Place. And
that never ceases to amaze me, you know.
On one hop, Ivory Curry on the kickoff return, number 27. is hit at the 20-yard line, still fighting for yardage, and finally dropped by Joe Kuklo, number 11, after a 15-yard return. There he is, the cheerleader. Got him going again all the way around the building. The crazy one.
I'll tell you, opposing quarterbacks absolutely hate this because they have a really tough time with the echo inside this beautiful building, trying to get their calls off to the wide receivers. Crazy doesn't care.
It's an incredible sight, really, when you watch these fans. Prince McJunkins with a penalty flag, throwing on first down, knocked away by Terry Parker, intended for former Lion Tyrone Gray.
Big pressure by Dave McNeil, the young linebacker replacing Glenn Jackson, but I think the Lions are going to be called for offside on the play.
First down over again, 5 yards to go from the 27, offside against the Lions. 5:28 remaining until halftime. 16-3 is the score. Lions in front of Ottawa.
Penalty's not a big factor so far in this ball game, Bill.
Got a total of 5 so far. Not much running room at all for Maurice Doyle, number 39. He gets to near the 30-yard line on a pickup of close to 3. Now they spotted at the 31, so it's a gain of 4. Second down and 1. Crazy George must have thought it was too quiet in here or something.
I just wonder if we've got an injury problem once again cropping up with Skip Walker, Dale. He is not on the field. We'll have to have Al McCann check that out.
Walker is at the bench watching as Maurice Doyle takes the handoff from Prince McJunkins. It was second down and 1. Dave McNeil, number 45, the new linebacker for the Lions, replacing the injured Glenn Jackson, made the hit on Doyle, and it is a first down.
That's the sure way to quiet this crowd down. You've noticed that opposing teams have a little success. That's about the only way you kill that cheer.
Ottawa has finally picked up a first down in this quarter. And we have just over 4 minutes remaining. McJunkins throws to Carl Powell. It's broken up by Terry Parker. 17. 4-year veteran from Grambling. The BC Lion defensive backs have intercepted football 30 times this year. Of course, Larry Crawford leads the way with 11. Of course, they have a team record of 41, which is a single-season CFL record.
Compare that with the Ottawa Rough Riders. They've only picked off 23 passes all year long. Slightly over half of them.
Yeah. Big difference in the turnover categories. Andre Jones on the blitz. Forced McJunkins up into the pocket where he is finished off by Reuben Vaughn and Tyrone Cruz. That may be Reuben Vaughn's first sack of the year since he joined the Lions 4 games ago.
This is a much more impressive BC Lion ball club, Dale, as you mentioned, that we've seen over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Andre Jones coming in from the outside there, forcing the young quarterback to step up to the middle to meet a big guy like that.
Reuben Vaughn out of Colorado, 6'3", 251. Ken Clark gets this one away. Waiting for it, JoJo Heath for 26 near the 30. Reverses the steal. Terry Parker shielded off Maurice Doyle nicely. Heath gets away from Ken Clark and is finally stopped by Graffy at the Ottawa 54.
I don't know if Ken Clark was trying to tackle JoJo Heath or try to jump over the top of him.
I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you with all my heart, Martin.
Who's he talking to? Watch Ken Clark when this play finally gets up to about midfield, if we have a chance to run it that far. Number 13, he tries to jump right over JoJo. He's back. We didn't get to go that far. Sorry about that.
First down from the Ottawa 54. The draw to John Henry White. All the way to the Ottawa 30-yard line. That's a gain of 23 yards for John Henry White. The Lions out in front of Ottawa 16-3, and we're coming right back.
You'd give anything just to take a breather. But you know you'd be giving too much to the other team. But right from the first time you played, you knew you had found your game. And right from the first time you tried OB, we'll bet you had found your beer.
That's why you just say OB for that great tasting beer. OB, OB, oh yeah. You just say OB.
Canadian football stars are under the dome in an East versus West matchup. See All-Star Football on CTV Saturday, December 3rd.
This is just an excellent piece of running by John Henry White, and the draw has been very successful for the BC Lions so far in this first half. That's twice now that John Henry's been able to go up the middle with some great deal of success. And also you saw Roy DeWalt, of course, work the draw play a moment ago. And you see that beautiful location that we have here at BC Place, and doing a very exciting football game with just 2:45 remaining in the first half.
That was Al Washington and Ken Miller that teamed up to finally bring John Henry White down. First and 10 from the 30. The ball goes to Mervyn Fernandez again. Near the 25-yard line. Short gain. They give him 5. Second down. We have 2.5 minutes remaining until the intermission. The Lions are out in front 16-3. Touchdown by that man right there. Converted by Pasaglia, who also has 3 field goals. Oregon, a field goal, the only scoring for Ottawa so far. Second down from the Ottawa 25.5. Wall, good protection, goes over the middle to Ray Strong. Ball is loose, picked up by Gerald Roper. He picked up another couple of yards, but they'll still be short of the first down by a yard or 2. Things kind of going BC's way right now when the ball pops loose and right to an offensive lineman.
Roper looks a bit like a fullback here, where he puts his head down after he picks his football up. Number 65 right in the middle of your screen. Just give me that ball. I can run with it. All right, this is what they taught me.
Greg Marshall got him from behind. It's third down, a little less than 2 yards to go. Pasaglia to try to make it 4 for 4. 29-yard attempt straight away.
And a new club record, eh?
Sure, beats his own record he set in 1977. His 41st field goal of the year. And he's 4 for 4 tonight. The Lions now lead it by 16 with 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining until halftime. All right, third place will be decided in the Eastern Division of the CFL tomorrow at the Big O in Montreal. The Concord taking on the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and that's on the full CTV network tomorrow afternoon. Who do you like in that one, Frank?
Well, Dill, I'd have to say, and I think most fans across the country would agree, that the momentum, if that's going to be a factor. Oh, there's Willie Fleming, the gray-haired gentleman right behind Ron Jones, the president of the BC Lions. Montreal's certainly been on much more of a roll than the Hamilton Ticats over the last month.
First down for the Ottawa Roughriders. Prince McJunkins has it out to about the 37. A gain of a couple. Second down and 8. Just over 2 minutes remaining here in the second quarter.
Who did he play for? Whoever it was, it certainly didn't have a helmet.
Got the great name anyway. Second down and 7 for Ottawa. Junkin steps up, fires to Tyrone Gray. First down into BC territory. They'll spot it at the 49. With the 19 points the Lions have scored so far here in the first half, they are now the highest scoring team in the CFL this year and will end up that way with 456. I believe that's a team record as well, breaking their previous mark of 449 set last year. Down for Junkins, and he's on the run again. Junkins is tackled by Tyrone Cruz, the middle linebacker, number 50, above the 37-yard line. He's got another first down. Gain of 12. See, look at Sackley up 4 for 4 in field goals tonight. Ottawa Roughriders offensively without Skip Walker, who's not playing right now. J.C. Watts, of course, is not here. Junkins gets away from Reuben Bond, but they've got hot pursuit after him now. Mac Moore joins in the chase, and Junkins takes it out of bounds at the 34.
Dale, Skip Walker seems to be fine. I chatted with him briefly. He's going to talk to me as soon as it's halftime, at the top of our halftime intermission. I think he probably could play, but they're just not going to risk any further injury.
Well, I understand he did have a slight leg injury coming into this ball game, so maybe we can find out if that has been aggravated.
I'll ask him, Frank.
Second down and 7 for the Ottawa Roughriders. The blitz on Junkins. Mel Bird gets to him, and they throw him way back to the 50-yard line, although the first contact was made close to the 43.
Just a matter of outmanning the Ottawa Roughriders here. They brought more blitzers than they did have offensive people left in there to block. The loss is going to be 9 yards. Bird coming from that top side, and really no chance to do much about it. Steve Mazurik, there's a guy that you've known personally for some years, Jeff.
Now the executive director of the Canadian Football League Players Association. Very busy getting ready for this All-Star game coming up here in this stadium. First Saturday in December. It'll be the Yesterday in the CFL feature coming up at halftime with Johnny Eastraw. Ken Clark holds for Jerry Organ's 15-yard field goal attempt. It is good. Jerry Organ has just connected with his longest field goal of the year to cut the BC lead to 13 points with 41 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Dale, we should tell the fans across the country that not only will the Grey Cup game be across the full CTV Sports Network, but the following week, that All-Star game that you mentioned will also be right from BC Place, right here, and also on CTV.
We're going to be spending some time in Vancouver later this month. We'll be around here for a few days.
What a great month it's going to be on the network for football fans across the country. Vanier Cup, Grey Cup, All-Star game. What more could you want?
Plus the Western semifinal and the Eastern final. Jerry Organ to kick off from his 35. Ray Strong tracks it down at the 20. Takes off one tackler. Strong brings it back out to the 43-yard line with 35 seconds remaining in the first half. A return of 24 yards by Strong, who was in the NFL for 5 years. The Atlanta Falcons. He's out of the University of Nevada at Las Vegas.
And you know he's the kind of football player that wants to play, Dale, because he was captain of the specialty teams with the Falcons. And those guys come out to hit you.
First down for the Lions from their 43. See if the Lions are content to just run the clock out here or go for more. Draw to John Henry White. He's picked up a few yards in this first half on that play. This time it's held to a gain of about 4. Al Washington, number 17, in on the tackle.
I'd like to see him throw it downfield. Why not try to pick up another field goal or so. We've still got 30 seconds remaining.
Never be content with the points you have. You always got to go for more.
Well, if you throw it deep enough down there and they pick it off, it's just like a punt anyway.
It certainly has been a much sharper looking BC Lions team tonight as John Henry White takes the inside handoff from Roy to Walton. He's got a first down at midfield. Rick Sowieta making the tackle, helped out by John Lynch, number 29.
Good little counter type of play by the Lions.
Last week, the BC Lions were held to 5 points in the entire ballgame by Saskatchewan.
Now they're going to put it up.
John Henry White down the middle. Al Washington has him. Another first down at the Ottawa 40. 5 seconds left.
I think we'll probably see the BC Lions call a timeout here and get Casaglia in this ball game, and
that's exactly what they've done. Casaglia will try a 47-yarder. Al Washington a little slow in getting up.
What is Georgie Brancato has got the ice bucket here at BC Place? I haven't noticed it, Dale. He usually goes into that ice pail consistently, no matter what the weather's like.
All right, coming up 1 week from tomorrow, we will be at the Winnipeg Stadium as the Bombers host the Western semifinal. We really won't know who they're playing until tomorrow afternoon when the Calgary Stampeders have to win or tie against Saskatchewan. Should Saskatchewan win, Edmonton will be going to Winnipeg. Then, of course, on Sunday, November 20th, 2 weeks from tomorrow, Pat Marsden, Bill Stevenson, Lee Pedersen will be on hand at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto as the Argos host the Eastern Final. All that football action coming up on CTV in the month of November. John Pancratz will hold as Casaglia will try to make it 5 for 5 here in the first half. 47-yard attempt. Got the distance, but it is wide to the left, and Ricky Barton will bring it out of the end zone. It's past John Henry White, and then just goes down with it at the 8-yard line, and that'll do it for the first half. Casaglia finally misses one, and so the score at the halftime break, BC Lions 19, Ottawa Rough Riders 6.
Well, I've got one of the
The CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo.
Good evening. Yasser Arafat, the embattled chairman of the Palestine Liberation Organization, is putting up what could be his last battle for survival in Lebanon tonight. Arafat has vowed to die hard as rebel PLO forces, backed by the Syrians, move to crush what's left of his support. More from Vic Aiken.
The fighting has raged around this camp for 3 days now. Arafat's men have been battling PLO rebels and their Syrian and Libyan allies. Frontline positions often only amount to 2 men and a mortar. The anti-Arafat lines are only 700 yards away, and the firing is not all one way. Cost has been high, many wounded and dead. Vic Aiken, NBC News, Lebanon.
In southern Lebanon, the number of dead in the car bomb blast on the Israeli military post in Tyre rose today to 60. Another 22 bodies were pulled from the rubble, all of them those of Lebanese prisoners who had been held there. The Israelis stiffened their security in southern Lebanon today, blockading their military posts and cutting bridges across the Awali River. There's good news tonight for the 3,500 Chrysler workers in Canada that had been laid off because of a strike at a parts plant in the U.S. The walkout had a domino effect, closing down factories on both sides of the border because of Chrysler's inability to get crucial auto parts. A union spokesman said tonight that if the agreement is ratified, the workers should be back at their jobs by Monday. This is day 5 of the government employee strike in B.C. While residents struggled without critical services, negotiators reviewed their positions. And leaders of government employees' unions from across Canada met in Vancouver to pledge millions of dollars in support for the BC workers. They say if what is happening in BC is allowed to succeed, it could spread across the country.
If the government of British Columbia is successful in making that stick, then the feeling amongst our colleagues in the rest of the country is that it is only a matter of time before that pattern crosses those mountains.
We will have these and other stories later on the CTV National News, but first, yesterday in the CFL with Steve Mazurek.
spiders are coming. Get your fingers moving fast, and the spiders out to get you. Do you think that you can last? You can shoot him in the middle, he will only break in two. And the fleas are even faster if you look away you're through. See the scorpion a dancing, he can really help you score. But the centipede's immortal, keeps coming back for more. Centipede is from Atari and it's faster than a jet. If you're looking for some action, it's the game you gotta get. Centipede.
Reach for Atari.
Uh-oh, here's one they don't need us for.
Who doesn't need it?
Polaroid. Their new sun camera is $30 less than last year, and you still get a piece of the sun and a light fixer.
Can you still turn bad light into good pictures?
Yep. It's designed for 10 great shots out of 10. Uses 600-speed film.
Swell. For $30 less?
Yep, it'll sell itself.
But somebody has to tell the people about it.
But not both of us.
So that means goodbye.
The conventional turntable tone arm delivers true accuracy only here and here. So Techniques brings you linear tracking turntables. The linear tracking tone arm with our innovative plug-in cartridge system tracks straight across the record the same way the groove was originally cut. For accuracy no conventional turntable achieves. The technology you expect from Techniques, the science of sound.
Mr. Kennedy. Jacqueline Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy. Mrs. Kennedy.
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 Kennedy. Senator Kennedy.
Bob Kennedy.
Kennedy.
For 8 seasons, this graduate of the Regina Rams caught passes for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. For 8 years, he helped create Rider Pride. He wasn't a superstar, but he was tough, agile, and fiercely proud of the Green Machine. We'll talk to Steve today as Carling O'Keefe Sports presents Yesterday in the CFL.
You've got about 5 square yards of real estate to cover, and sometimes it feels like 5 square miles. But right from the first time you played, you knew you'd found your game. And right from the first time you tried OB, we'll bet you'd found your beer.
That's why you just say OB for that great tasting beer. OB, OB, oh yeah, you say OB.
Rider Pride, yes indeed. That is the slogan for the Saskatchewan football fans as well as for the young Saskatchewan football players. They now have the ambition to play with the juniors and then move up to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Such is the story of Steve Mazurek. He was with the national champion Regina Rams and then for 8 years with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Steve Mazurek, one of the great young Canadians in the Saskatchewan Roughrider history. Steve Mazurek grew up in Regina, dreaming of the day he could don a Rider uniform. After a successful 2-year stint with the Regina Rams, he turned pro with the Riders and today remains 7th on the all-time Rider list for passes caught with 237 and 6th in yards gained with 3,714. At 6'3" and 210 pounds, he was a large target for quarterback Ron Lancaster. In 1978, he led the Western Conference with 978 yards on 52 receptions. We talked about all that recently at Taylor Field. In 8 years with the Saskatchewan Roughriders as a quick, agile receiver, you were never really known as a superstar, but you were known as a super salesman of football. Steve, how would you like to be remembered out of all this?
Hopefully they're thinking that Steve Mazurek was a 110%er and somebody who gave their best on the field and off the field 365 days a year.
During those first 4 years, when you had to fight from day to day for a starting spot with Leif Pettersson, you must have wondered who was really going to get the job. You didn't have anything to do with his trade to Hamilton, did you?
Oh, yeah, I did. And Leif and I have joked about it many times. We were roommates through those 4 years, and I think I was a little bit lucky in that I got a year's head start on Leif. I started in '73. Leif came around in 1974, and just lucky enough that possibly because I was homegrown, and that with that extra year that I had a little bit of the upper edge on Leif. And
as a young receiver, what kind of help did you get from a quarterback coach type of a player that Ron Lancaster was?
A lot of help, and I think as a young receiver in the CFL, to be to start off in the league with Ronnie Lancaster and his patience and his knowledge of the ball game taught me an awful lot, especially in the area of watching films and making sure you're on your toes for audibles. Because as you probably know, Johnny, Ron Lancaster probably called 60% of his plays on the line, and so you had to be on your toes, and it was great to learn that right from the start.
Well, he was one of the new spirits. Who do you remember most vividly as the new spirit that came along?
Well, in that same era, it would have been Ronnie Lancaster, George Reed, and probably especially Huey Campbell, I think, because Huey was, I was always compared to Hugh Campbell in my high school days and playing with the Regina Rams, and I would go to the Rough Rider ball games and watch Huey Campbell and watch his moves and try to emulate that, and so it was always that number 31 on the football field that I remember the most.
Missouri went to the Grey Cup only once, in 1976, but his feelings for football and Regina in particular endeared him with the fans there. Steve was always actively involved in charities and community projects. Missouri also carried a genuine concern for his peers in football, a role which sees him now as the executive director of the CFL Players Association.
Steve is a local product making the big team. That's quite an accomplishment, and of course there were a lot of thrills that go along with that. But losing before those same people was quite another.
Certainly was, and I suppose that was one of the more saving graces of the whole game, knowing that your friends and family were in the audience, and when everything was down and there was a few people booing up there, you always knew your brother was standing up screaming and yelling with a number 70 jersey on, but it teaches you a lot about the game and the highs and lows of the game, and I think that's the difference between a professional football player and just the average athlete, is being able to overcome those kinds of circumstances.
Steve, you earned a phys ed degree while you were playing football, which proves that the opportunity is there to do more than one thing. In other words, if a player wants the best of both worlds, he can do it.
Certainly can, and I think it's a credit to the CFL in that most of the practice times are later in the afternoon. Ball players can continue their education, finish off their degrees, or work in the community and get themselves established in the community for when that day comes when they're no longer a football player.
Steve Mazurek, a great rider for 8 seasons, yesterday in the CFL.
War Amps key tags. Carl Hilsinger, former Montreal football great who lost 2 legs in a tragic car accident, leads a group of young amputees in a ski clinic held in Quebec and run by the War Amps through its child amputee program. Through your donations, our children receive special artificial limbs, education, legal services, counseling, research, and for all children, the Play Safe Safety Program. Your key tag donations make it all possible.
I'd like the most popular home video game system ever.
Ah, the system you want is the Atari 2600.
Not so fast. I want a system that can play hundreds of games.
Then what you want is the Atari 2600.
But I want a system that can play children's educational games.
Then what you want is the Atari 2600.
Fine, but I want a real low price.
Oh, in that case, what you really want is the Atari 2600.
That's what I want.
The Atari 2600.
Now at a new low price and includes a combat game.
Welcome to Timex Courts. Incredible technology. Uncanny accuracy. Our lightweight runner's quartz is water resistant. Our dress digitals have no buttons. This sleek command bar controls all functions. Now, bring the value of Timex Quartz into your world.
This is the CTV Television Network. This is CJOH Television, Cable 7 in Ottawa, Hull.
This is the final weekend of the regular league season for 1983 and some interesting matchups. Earlier today, a couple of playoff-bound teams met in the rain in Toronto, and the Argonauts were very sharp in defeating Winnipeg. After a Leroy Paul interception in the first quarter, Condridge Holloway hit Cedric Mitter on a 34-yard touchdown for the first score of the game. In that same quarter, it was Holloway again. This time, Emmanuel Tolbert, the receiver, a 7-yard touchdown, putting the Argos up 14-0. In the second quarter, Terry Greer caught his 105th reception of the year, a new CFL mark. The Argos led 18-3 at the half. In the third period, Joe Barnes in at quarterback goes to Tolbert. The play covers 71 yards for the touchdown, and the Argos are up 25-6. In the fourth quarter, it's Barnes again, this time under some Winnipeg pressure. Barnes scrambles around looking for a receiver. Finally, he picks out Paul Pearson, an 8-yard touchdown strike, putting Toronto in front 33-9. Then it was Terry Greer in the spotlight again. This catch in the dying moments gave him 2,006 yards for the year, the first man in the CFL to ever go over 2,000 yards as the Argos win easy 33-9. Earlier this week, the Rothman Stars of the Week were announced, and the Calgary Stampeders came up with 2 out of 3. Rookie running back Ray Krause had a big game in the Calgary win over Hamilton, 154 yards rushing. He also caught 3 passes to be named the offensive star. His teammate, number 62, Randy Troutman, with 4 quarterback sacks, was the lineman of the week. Over in Ottawa, another number 62, Willie Hampton of Montreal, had an interception, a sack, and a pass knockdown. As the Concords beat Ottawa, he was the defensive player for the past week. Coming up tomorrow, the Hamilton Tiger Cats at Montreal. The winner gets 3rd place. The loser is out. You'll see it all on CTV. And over in Calgary, the Stampeders must win or tie to qualify for the playoffs as they play Saskatchewan. The Shenley nominations are out. We're down to the finals now. It's Warren Moon, of course, against Terry Greer. Everybody expected it. Moon with 5,648 yards passing. Greer, 2,006 yards receiving. The outstanding offensive lineman, John Bonk, against Rudy Phillips. Bonk, an 11-year veteran. Phillips, of course, a Shenley offensive lineman winner in 82. Danny Bass and Greg Marshall hook up for defensive player, and that should prove very, very close. Bass, all-Canadian middle linebacker. Marshall, of course, 15.5 sacks on the season. As far as the Canadian player is concerned, it's Paul Bennett against Denny Ferdinand. The all-time punt return leader, Bennett, against Ferdinand, who's had a sensational season. And, of course, that should be a very close competition. The rookie, Willard Reeves or Johnny Shepard. Who do you like? Shepard, 1,005 yards rushing. Reeves, the West's leading rusher, 898 yards. That, too, will be awfully close. The CFL on CTV continues in just 1 minute.
When I met Christine Marshall, I could see her special talents made her a better teacher. Christine is one of 2 providers in her family, and my special talents help make her a better provider. As a London Life agent, I can design a special plan for your financial future the way I did for Christine. Your plan may not be like hers, though, because at London Life, we feel every life is something special.
There is a way to keep your car safe from winter. Protect it with Perma 3 antifreeze from Canadian Tire. Perma 3 is undaunted by winter's cataclysmic assaults. Its paralyzing destruction. Its menacing force. Perma 3 will take anything winter can dish out so your car won't have to. Perma 3 antifreeze from Canadian Tire, because only the strong survive.
This man and woman are getting their money's worth out of their traveler's checks because they're not spending their hard-earned vacation worrying about losing them or using them. They stopped worrying at home when they chose Visa traveler's checks. After all, when your traveler's checks carry a financial symbol that's this well known throughout the world, you don't have a worry in the world. Visa traveler's checks. You don't have to lose them to be glad you chose them.
Call me Chief.
3 generations of police chiefs stalk the same brutal killer. Charlton Heston, Chiefs.
BC Lions with a 13-point lead over the Ottawa Roughriders and looking much sharper tonight than they have the past couple of weeks. And Roy DeWalt especially has looked good.
No question about that, Dale, particularly offensively. And the Lions, of course, came out throwing the football almost every play. DeWalt completing his first 5 attempts. But then they found a little crack in the defense with the draw plays. Actually, DeWalt took off on a draw himself. He wound up fumbling the football, but the Lions got it down to the 4-yard line. They could not get it across the goal line, however, and they had to settle for a field goal. This was the only turnover of the first half. Kenny Clark as a thrower. What do you think?
Kenny's had his troubles this year in throwing passes out of punt formation. I think he's about to give that part of his game up.
That turnover resulted in the only major score for the BC Lions in the first half. Mervyn Fernandez, number 24, on a post pattern for 14 yards out, put the BC Lions ahead 16-3 at that point. And once again, the draw play was just about the only running play that the Lions were able to capitalize on. John Henry White set up their last field goal by Lou Pasaglia. He was 4 for 5 in the first half. It's a 19-6 lead for the BC Lions over the Ottawa Rough Riders. And this is the CFL on CTV. We'll have second half action in just a moment.
Has he gone? Boy, let's put up the Stanley garage door opener.
But it's our only night off.
I can do it myself. It's a Stanley.
Okay, we'll help.
Santa won't have to wrestle with that door. Oh, he's so hard to shop for, so I got him the best Stanley.
Boy, that was easy. Wasn't over our heads.
He's back. Merry Christmas.
For me? Oh, it's a Stanley.
Hello. I like this Remington microscreen rechargeable shaver so much, I bought the company. It shaves as close as a blade, or I'll give you your money back. Remington has 2 microscreens. That's why it can shave as close as a blade. The first microscreen shaves incredibly close. The second even closer. The Remington microscreen rechargeable shaver shaves as close as a blade, or your money back. And the Lady Remington, the perfect gift, also with a money-back guarantee.
In the race to put personal computers in the office, Wang introduces the winning formula, the Wang Professional Computer. In data processing, it's faster than any personal computer tested. Only Wang offers you the best-selling word processing in the world. And only Wang gives you all this, plus unbeaten communications. The Wang Professional Computer. In the race to office automation, it leaves the competition in the dust.
Princess Daisy.
A successful model, Princess Daisy is haunted by the terrible secret of her past.
Well, the Ottawa Rough Riders sticking off to get this second half underway. Jerry Organ had his kick go out of bounds near the BC 15-yard line. So they'll back him up 5 yards, and he'll have to do it all over again from the 40. Ray Strong and Larry Crawford are back deep for the Lions. As you take a look at the first half stats, and BC in control of things, especially their passing game. Roy DeWalt hitting on 18 out of 24 for 154 yards. No team losses at all, and of course the only turnover was when Ken Clark fielded a high snap from center in a punting situation, ended up trying to throw the football and went incomplete. And here's Jerry Organ kicking off once more, and taking it from the 15-yard line is Larry Crawford, number 28. And he looks for that seam, he finds one and gets it out across the 40-yard line, where he's tackled by John Lynch, number 29, and Mike Graffey, number 42. A 26-yard return for Crawford, and the Lions have good field position to start this third quarter. They lead it 19-6. Lou Pasaglia, 4 out of 5 field goals in that first half. The only touchdown scored by Mervyn Fernandez. Jerry Organ has 2 field goals for Ottawa. DeWalt stays in there at quarterback. First down from the 40. Offensive line has been giving DeWalt good protection. He finds Chapdelaine coming across the middle. He's tied up by Ricky Barton and all down short of the first. Near the 47, it'll be a gain of about 6 yards.
The block by John Pancratz allows Chapdelaine to pick up a couple extra yards. That underneath pattern, of course, made famous by the BC Lions' Sammy Green this year, who is most recently departed. You can see the block right there by Pancratz on Rick Sovieta, number 75. It'll be second and just over 3.
Here's the second down play for the BC Lions from their own 47-yard line. They need 3 for the first. Open is Pancratz. First down. Takes a solid hit from Ivory Curry, who's really been knocking people around out there in this ball game. Newcomer defensively for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Pancratz does a good job of hanging onto the football. First down at the Ottawa 53.
Well, he does take quite a shot from Curry. Once again, the rookie out of the University of Florida, which we've mentioned on several occasions. But Pancras is having quite a good evening himself. As you can see, 6 receptions over the course of tonight's activity. And Dale, we have one of the all-time great BC Lions, Willie Fleming, in the booth with us, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to Willie in just a moment.
Look forward to hearing from him.
Jeff Delane. The country will appreciate that, I'm sure.
Jeff Delane taking the pass from DeWalt. He has a gain of about 5 or 6 yards on the play. Charles Cornelius knocked him down, number 22. It'll be second and about 5 yards to go. They give him a gain of 5. Just a reminder to Ottawa football fans that end zone seats for the November 13th Eastern semifinal will be available starting Monday. And they'll be selling for $2 each, those end zone tickets, for the game at Lansdowne Park. Second down and 5 for the BC Lions. Good protection for DeWalt again. Coming back towards the football, Jeff Delane again. Tackled by Ken Miller. He's short of the first down. They mark it at about the Ottawa 46.5. So it's a good 4 yards short of the first down, and we'll get a look at Lou Pasaglia punting.
Dale, while we're bringing Lou Pasaglia and the field goal team on, maybe we can just have a small chat with Willie Fleming. Many people consider Willie the outstanding BC Lion of all time. I don't want to embarrass you, Willie, with the compliments, but it's great to see you back. What do you think of the Lions 83 edition?
Well, I think the Lions 83 are going all the way to the Grey Cup, and I hope I can come back to see them do it.
Good for you. Well, I certainly know that fans across the country appreciate the fact that a back of your stature would be back and hoping the BC Lions well, but this is a ball club that has set team records in the last couple of years as far as scoring is concerned. They are an exciting football club.
They are, and we watch them quite a bit down in Detroit, where I'm from, and I tell you, I get excited every year, and I try to watch them as much as I can.
Willie, thank you for stopping by and being with us. This is a CFL on CTV, and we'll be back in just a moment.
As you know, Class Lotto 649 has paid some rather attractive jackpots. So let's get ready for the big win. Today we'll cover ordering a little lunch. Let's see, we'll start with some beluga caviar that
you're getting. And right from the first time you tried OV, we'll bet you'd found your beer.
That's why you just say OV for that great tasting beer. OV, OV, oh yeah, you just say OV.
As you know, Class Lotto 649 has paid some rather attractive jackpots. So let's get ready for the big win. Today we'll cover ordering a little lunch. Let's see, we'll start with some beluga caviar. That's your very expensive fish eggs. Then some Chateaubriand, fancy way of saying steak. And with it, a sauce béarnaise. That's what rich people use for ketchup.
Lotto 649, exceptionally attractive prizes. $1 the ticket.
Will you be ready?
7-year veteran offensive guard Glenn Leonhardt of the BC Lions out of the University of Manitoba. Taking a rest now over at the BC bench as Lou Pasaglia came up short on a 54-yard field goal attempt, and Ottawa has the football first and 10 near the 20-yard line following the return by Ricky Barton. Pasaglia is now 4 out of 6 tonight. Prince McJunkins, number 4, the quarterback for Ottawa. J.C. Watt's not here. He's at home injured. Wild hole. McJunkins just hurtled right over the top of JoJo Heath, I believe, and got a first down.
I'll tell you, that is not a move that produces longevity in professional football. The BC Lions failed to contain the young quarterback on the right side there. He picks up 19 yards on the play, and watch this hurdle. Right over the top of JoJo Heath. JoJo's, where'd he go?
19-yard gain for Prince McJunkins. First down at the 39. Junkins looks for Stokwa, almost picked off by Larry Crawford. That would have been number 12 for Crawford this year, but it goes as an incomplete pass. Second down and 10. Here's another look at Crawford defending against Stokwa.
I don't know. I think our ISO director, Fred Fleming, must have a crystal ball or something down there. He's picking out the defensive backs now. There you go, Freddie.
Second down and 10 for Ottawa from the 39. Middle screen is knocked down by Reuben Vaughn, number 79, intended for Jim Reed.
Big guy's happy about that one.
But Junkins leaves the field. The punting unit comes in, led by Ken Clark. 10.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. As you look again at the attempted screen.
It's a very difficult type of play to read for a defense, that inside screen. The back comes up there and kind of gets lost in the middle of everything. But Reuben was right there when necessary.
This is Larry Crawford. Ken Miller finally puts the stop on Crawford at the 31-yard line. 44-yard punt by Clark and a return of 4.
Dale, you know, you talk about all kinds of records and statistics and so forth, but Willie Fleming, who fans across the country just got a chance to see for a moment there, has just an unbelievable record. Back in 1963, every time he touched the football on a rushing play, it was 9.7 yards. It was doggone near a first down every time he touched it.
I think that's the record that still stands.
Still is. There's another record, huh?
Roy DeWalt. Record number of pass attempts. Puts it up once more. John Henry White. White is out across the 35 to near the 37-yard line. Jerry Doolin in on the tackle for Ottawa, number 69.
One thing I've always liked about John Henry White, he can dance, he's got some great moves, but when he sees that sort of thing is futile, he just puts his head down and gets as much out of the play as he can. Watch this. He looks around, tries to find some place to make a move, can't do so. There's about 4 defenders there, so he just drives them back for a couple extra yards.
He got 6 that time, second down and 4. Screen to John Henry White. He's got a lot of blocking in front. And he's got a first down out to the 52-yard line. Steve Harrison, number 34, made the tackle, but not before John Henry had picked up 15 yards.
Well, we just mentioned how difficult it is for a defense to diagnose those inside screens, and the Lions come right back with a very similar type play.
Head coach George Brancato of the Ottawa Rough Riders. Then signals Fernandez to come back towards him and puts the ball right in his hands at the Ottawa 51-yard line for a gain of 7 yards. DeWalt directing a little bit of traffic once he got over to the right side of that field.
Well, any quarterback in professional football get that amount of time, he's going to complete an awfully high percentage against
it. It's just a 4-man rush here, Frank, but they just collapsed the defensive front of the Ottawa Rough Riders.
Well, they want to get him down. That was supposed to be a very quick throw by BC Lion quarterback, and of course the offensive linemen are taught to chop down on the defense, keep their hands down so he can see his receivers a little better.
Second down and 3 for the Lions. Out of the eye, John Henry White, the tailback, he has the first down, running hard to the 45-yard line. Graffy finally put the stop on him with help from others like Junior Robinson and Charles Cornelius. They moved the yardstick. Ray Strong leading the blocking for John Henry White. They try the right side of that line behind John Blaine and Glenn Leonard. And it's the first. Lions dominating in that category here tonight. They've been able to drive the football. Ottawa hasn't. Fernandez. To the 30 and another first down. A gain of 15 yards. Al Washington making the stop defensively.
Well, you'd have to see Fernandez got all he could get out of that one, too. 3 defenders right there after the reception is made. Clark, number 25, was the first Ottawa Rough Rider there. Good drive by the Lions. They attempt to add to their 19-6 lead. At the moment, there's 7:05 remaining in this third quarter.
DeWalt is getting great protection, going deep for the 3As, and he overthrew him. That's where DeWalt has had his problems tonight in going deep.
Friese looked like he kind of stopped down there. He didn't feel that Roy DeWalt was looking his way, and ball consequently overthrown. You're right, though, Dale. He has not had a good night throwing the ball deep, even though statistically it's been an unbelievable night. Look at it.
Those 7 incompletions that he's thrown, I think just about every one of them was at least a 30-yarder downfield.
I think you're right, at least 4 or 5 of them.
Ivory Curry providing the coverage of Mark Friese. 2nd down and 10 from the 30. Oh, right through the fingers that time, Friese, number 3. Would have had a 1st down inside the 20-yard line. The drive now stalls, and Lou Pasaglia will come in and attempt his 7th field goal.
Yeah, one of the few times that the Ottawa Rough Riders were able to get good pressure on Roy DeWalt. Still in number 69, right in the middle of your screen with that left-handed stance, puts pretty good pressure on the BC quarterback. He's had an awful lot of time to throw the football.
You know, I'm surprised that Roy DeWalt is still in the ball game, Dale and Frank. He told me he might play a little more than a half, but I would think with that kind of a wonky D that Coach Matthews would have his number 2 man, Powell in by now.
37-yard field goal attempt by Pasaglia is good. And the Lions increase their lead over the Ottawa Rough Riders to 22-6. Pasaglia's 5th field goal of the ball game, and we're coming back in just a moment.
Introducing the ColecoVision Roller Controller. With it, your vision expands. Now, speed all over the screen. Fire up or down. It comes with Slither as a bonus. But the excitement doesn't stop there. It makes arcade games like Pepper even peppier. Spaceships travel at the speed of light, and apes go ape. Expand your vision with the Roller Controller. Because your vision is our vision. ColecoVision.
Some time ago, Michelin engineers set out to develop a really durable, all-season radio that wouldn't compromise Michelin's standards. We said no. No. And no. And no again. Until we were satisfied. Finally, an all-season radio that stands up. The remarkable new Michelin XA4. Michelin standards make all the difference.
Well, here's a guy who's been through the wars a long time, Al Wilson, the center of the BC Lions. Al, the way you guys are performing tonight, I think you must be tasting November 27th already.
Well, the offense has got something to prove. We want to control the football out there tonight. We're not putting it in the end zone, but we're driving down the field. We've been letting our defense down the last couple of weeks.
I'll tell you, you've been giving DeWalt lots of time tonight.
Well, that's the key to it. We're throwing our short stuff. We're not worrying about going for the bomb. If we can exercise this type of control, we can win the game.
Al, you're having a great season. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wild-Beer veteran Al Wilson watching now as the defense goes to work. Puts the stop on Maurice Doyle for a loss on the play of about a yard. Rick Klassen a little slow in getting up.
Boy, Klassen does a great job on this, so watch him. He's number 60. Get that penetration. He fights off 2 blocks. He's kind of an unheralded member of that front 4. Look at that job he did. He had 6.5 sacks coming in tonight's ball game. Has not been an exceptional pass rusher, but he does not get fooled very often.
Lions, of course, have played since the 5th game of the season without Nick Hebler, another great Canadian defensive lineman, who went out with a knee injury. Junkin, 2nd and 11, is forced out of bounds. The ball comes loose. The Lions have got it. Dave McNeil, number 45, made the tackle, and Mac Moore, number 78, came up with the fumble. Our 2nd turnover of the ball game as the BC Lions take it at the Ottawa 40.
You know, Dill, I'm looking down and I gave all those compliments to Rick Klassen. It's actually Turkis who's in the ball game to replace Klassen, number 66, who made that great play previously. If you take a look at the turnover picked up by Mac Moore, the outstanding rusher 1983 for the BC Lions. He's around that football a lot, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got 4 fumble recoveries this year. Roy DeWalt on 1st down, looking for Fernandez. He's got him. About a gain of 8 yards. Harrison and Curry there to put the stop on Fernandez.
Well, he's having quite a night. 8 receptions already on tonight's play for Fernandez.
That gives him 77 on the season.
Well, that Sammy Green club record of receptions is now gone by the board. Yeah.
Sammy had 75 while he was with the Lions. Second down, 3 yards to go, BC. The ball at the Ottawa 33. John Henry White, that offensive line led by the veteran Al Wilson, is just doing a masterful job up front. Another first down for BC. And John Henry White is picking up big yardage here tonight.
Good block by Strong, once again leading his running mate into the middle of that line. He's got a good block on Steve Harrison, the young linebacker of the Ottawa Rough Riders.
Crowd of about 40,000 on hand here tonight at BC Place Stadium. You saw Pow Pow standing alongside head coach Don Matthews. Pow Pow not loosening up at all. DeWalt in action, and he's going to have to run with it for the second time tonight. This was not a planned play like it was on the quarterback draw, and he picks up about 5 yards. Picks up, maybe feeling that knee a little bit right now, Frank.
Yeah, I think you might be seeing the last of Roy DeWalt very shortly here. Once his drive is finished off one way or another, I wouldn't be surprised if Matthews does replace him.
I'm not surprised that he let him at least start the second half anyway, because he did look so sharp and getting his confidence back, his rhythm, and they have a 2-week break. You must remember that. You don't want to be sitting around too long.
That's right, and of course he did not play last week against the Riders.
John Henry White on the draw. He has a first down near the 15-yard line. A very impressive-looking drive now for the Lions. Walls is very definitely favoring that right knee.
Amazingly, Odell, I'm looking over across the field, and Joe Pow Pow is not warming up at that BC Lion bench. Roy definitely favoring that leg.
First down from the Ottawa 16. We have just under 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. There's Pow Pow. Hasn't taken the jacket off yet. Penalty flag comes down. It looked like one of the wideouts took off a little too early. DeWalt threw this one for John Henry White. Short. Big pressure from Al Washington. He was all over DeWalt. Offside against the Lions. Not sure if it was Fernandez or Pancratz that jumped a little too early on the far side. Captain Greg Marshall checking things over with the referee, Jim Hope-Ross.
Offside, British Columbia number 24, declined.
That was Fernandez. It'll be second down and 10 from the 16-yard line. Looking for Debris. Oh, he had a touchdown, but couldn't hold on to it. Third down, and we'll see Lou Pasaglia again.
Well, I wonder if Curry touched that football. He was very close to getting a hand on it. Let's see if we can pick it out here. Brie's dropped one from DeWalt a little earlier in this ball game, and this one had 6 written all over it. No, I don't think Ivory got a piece of that. Brie just, maybe his attention was bothered by Ivory. Lou Pasaglia now coming in, trying to kick, what is this, his 6th?
No, he's 5 out of 7 right now, and this, if he hits this one, it'll be tying his own club record for 6 field goals in a game, which he has done on 2 previous occasions. And there's no problem with that one. Pancratz doing the holding from 22 yards out, his 6th field goal, and the Lions lead it 25-6. We'll be back in just a moment.
Braun. Ultra-thin foil, platinum coated, smooth and close, and only Braun has it. If you don't believe there's a difference, shave with your rotary. Then shave right away with Braun. You can hear Braun cutting the stubble you left behind. You can sense the Braun difference.
You've rehearsed it 1,000 times. Yet it's never the same way twice.
But right from the first time you played, you knew you had found your game. And right from the first time you tried OV, we'll bet you had found your beer.
That's why you just say OV for that great tasting beer. OV, OV, oh yeah. You just say OV.
Joe Kuklo is warming up with Joe Powell on the far side of the field, so you can expect to see a quarterbacking change for the Lions here late in the third quarter. We have 2:01 remaining in the third. Ottawa with the football now from their own 35, following Pasaglia's sixth field goal of the night, tying his own club record for field goals in a single game. The CFL record, by the way, is 7 in a single game. Chris Isaac is now at quarterback for the Ottawa Roughriders, and Reuben Vaughn gets the sack back at the 25-yard line.
Boy, all of a sudden, Reuben Vaughn has been a very big factor in this ball game. You saw him earlier knock down a pass. This is Phillips, Rudy Phillips, the outstanding offensive lineman in the country that he gets away from initially, and then Larry Titley, the offensive center. What's the big guy, number 79? He certainly put an effort into it. The sack is a loss of about 7 yards for the Riders.
Second and long for Chris Isaac and company. Vaughn again right in his face, and the ball goes into the bench. Brings up third down. Big rush by Reuben Vaughn that time.
Well, Dale, as a voter for the Charlie O'Keefe Sports Game Stars, I think that man might well have a vote or two as the defensive stalwart tonight.
Very serious consideration to Reuben Vaughn, number 79.
That's a great offensive lineman, you know, he's beating out there.
Sure is. Rudy Phillips, number 67. Last year's winner of the Shenley for the outstanding lineman in the CFL, and the Eastern nominee again this year. Another high snap. Clark gets it down and blocked by Nelson Martin. Terry Parker has a bounce over his head. Martin at the 1-yard line. Ken Clark saved the touchdown by making the tackle at the 1-yard line.
Dale, I think that ball, that bad snap is what gave Martin time enough to get in there to block that kick. Ball bouncing extremely high and rather apropos. Nelson Martin makes the recovery as well. I almost thought he was in the end zone. But they marked the ball on the 1-yard line. Once again, the defense has been so great for the BC Lions all year long, has put the offense in great shape.
Another look at it. Terry Parker thought he had an easy touchdown, but the ball hopped right over his head. Martin got it, stopped by Clark at the 1, first and goal, BC. John Henry White puts it in the end zone.
As you've seen all night long, Ray Strong leading John Henry White up into the middle. A great block by Strong. Look at that. Oh, Junior Robinson, he just devastated the young safety of the Ottawa Roughriders. Let's go down to field level with Al McCann.
Well, everything's going great for the BC Lions, and Roy DeWalt had I thought, a very outstanding first half and part of the third quarter, Roy. One little time, I thought you might have hurt the knee a little bit, but you stayed in.
Well, I got it bumped a little bit. It didn't hurt that bad, but it did get a slight bump.
You had to be pleased the way it went.
Well, I'm very pleased because it was a game that we needed to tune up on, and we did do that, and I feel pretty good about myself today, and I think it's going to carry over into the final.
And you've got 2 weeks now to get ready.
Well, that's right. So we just happy to, real happy about everything that's happening.
Congratulations, Roy.
Thanks, Al.
Louis Pasaglia just converted the touchdown by John Henry White, giving the Lions a 32-6 lead. And I know we're talking an awful lot about records, Frank, but now Louis Pasaglia is in a position where he could become the all-time single-season scoring champion in the CFL. He's going to take a very serious run at it. The record is 195, set by Dave Cutler in 1977. Pasaglia coming into the ball game had 169. And right now, Pasaglia has 189. Here's his kickoff, going to Ivory Curry, number 27. Cut from behind by Andre Jones, number 32. He stumbled forward and was pinned by Brent Reset at the 28-yard line. A return of 23 yards, and now Crazy George has got the fans going again, section by section. Lower and upper levels simultaneously.
Can you imagine what Grey Cup's going to be like when they have 60-some thousand screaming fans here?
The Western Final as well. Chris Isaac passes to Carl Powell, and he takes the hit from Terry Parker at the 35-yard line for a gain of 6. Carl Powell playing second straight game for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Last week, he played against Montreal. Moret Ford is not playing tonight. He's out with an injury.
Well, I guess this is kind of sweet revenge for BC Lions fans because the Ottawa Rough Riders blew away this ball club a little earlier this year on September 2nd. 49-19.
Tyrone Gray takes the pass from Chris Isaac, hit immediately by JoJo Heap and forced out of bounds at the 44-yard line. The gun sounds to end the third quarter. With the score, BC 32, Ottawa 6. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in a moment.
First came table model video recorders, then the portable. Now the best of both, RCA's new 900 convertible, the most advanced VCR ever. At home, it's a fully featured table model, the first with 5 heads instead of 4. And the only table model that's portable, instantly portable, no cables. So when you leave home, it converts to a complete movie outfit that leaves other VCRs behind.
The RCA 900 convertible. There is no equal.
These winters let all your cares get away. Fly away to Florida. The sunshine is waiting, the water is fine. The family will love it, so it's time to get away. Get away to Florida. Get away with their Canada. Get away.
When Apple invented the personal computer, we were all alone in the world. But soon it seemed that everybody was trying to build a better Apple. Well, somebody finally did. Lisa from Apple. So advanced it puts us right back where we started. Alone again. Soon there'll be just 2 kinds of people. Those who use computers and those who use apples.
Kevin Konar, number 31 of the Lions, has a fan club, and he's on the field now because Ottawa's got the football. First down from 44. Mac Moore and Reuben Vaughn team up to get the quarterback again. The Lions are putting it to the Ottawa Rough Riders as we get the fourth quarter underway. 32-6 to score. Be a loss of 5. Back to the 39. Second down and 15.
Bill, I don't know how they officially credit these things, but I would think that Mac Moore would get credit for that sack, number 78. If so, I believe he's leading the entire Canadian Football League in that category.
Well, how many has he got now?
Well, he had 15 and a half coming in, and Greg Marshall, who had the same, has not gotten a sack tonight. He did have one, but it was taken away by penalty.
This Goldsmith has 19 and a half.
Oh, does he have? Oh, I'm sorry.
Third quarter stats. See the Lions piling up the yardage as well as the score. Isaac in trouble again, but he got away from it. Throws complete to Pat Stokwa out at the 52-yard line, but it'll be just short of the first down, and Ty Cruz is injured, the middle linebacker, who is rushing on the play. First catch of the night for Pat Stokwa.
You can see Cruz coming up here, just on the left side of your screen, number 50. He's one of the silent folks on that defensive unit. It doesn't get much credit, but boy, he does not make very many mistakes.
Looks like he took a helmet in the lower leg from Mac Moore.
Well, that's much more preferable than seeing him getting that leg twisted somehow. It will be short for the first down for the Riders.
What a strange league it is, gentlemen. Last week we were commenting the BC Lions couldn't do a thing, and tonight they've got Got it going on all cylinders just 7 days later.
Looks like he was hit by one of his teammates, quite possibly Reuben Vaughn right here.
Yes, it was Vaughn's helmet that hit his knee.
"32-6" is Bill Rochelle, the trainer of the BC Lions, is taking a look at the great young middle linebacker for the Lions. He is now on his feet and being helped off the field. That will necessitate several changes as the BC Lions are now short 2 of their 3 starting linebackers. Glenn Jackson not in the ball game at all tonight. Look at that time of possession now, Dale, becoming a very dominant factor for the Lions.
It really is a night for BC Lions in stats because they lead in all categories: offense, on the scoreboard, time of possession. They're dominating the football game with 13:46 remaining in the 4th quarter. The Ottawa Rough Riders looking at 3rd and 2.5, and they'll punt the ball away. They've had some problems with punting tonight. High snap from the center, Larry Titley, has cost him twice. Once a straight turnover, another blocked punt. That one was a bit high again. Clark gets it away. JoJo Heath on the return, trying to get outside, and he is stopped as he tried to turn the corner over there. 3 Ottawa Rough Riders are there to bring them down after a return of 4. The score is 32-6 in favor of the Lions. We'll be back to BC Place Stadium in just a moment.
Carlsberg Light, all right. People here say it's one good beer. Carlsberg Light, all right. Cold as ice, it's one real good beer. Crack the cold one and you'll see why it's that light, refreshing taste for me. Carlsberg Light, all right. Raise a cheer for good beer.
I'm talking state of the art.
I tried, sir.
Voila. You got your teletype, courier, mail, the whole shebang.
Envoy 100 service gives me all that. Now anybody with a phone can also have electronic mail service using their existing hardware. Just call 1-800-361-3050 for a free Envoy 100 booklet. What's this do?
We're not sure.
Envoy 100, the electronic messaging service.
BC Lions have got the football at their own 23-yard line. Joe Paupau has now come into the ball game, replacing Roy DeWald, who leaves after an impressive night directing the BC Lion offense. Paupau did not have a great game last week in Saskatchewan. He was intercepted 3 times in the 2nd quarter. He's been intercepted an awful lot this year. But he comes in with the Lions enjoying a 32-6 lead, and he goes to Ray Strong, swinging out of that backfield, and Strong does a great job of running with it. Caught from behind by Ken Miller at the Ottawa 53-yard line, and Strong picks up 33.
Now, Dale, if you're a quarterback, how do you like that? After you throw a pass that only travels about 5 or 6 yards, it makes you look like a hero. What a great run Strong comes up with after this reception. Graphie number 42 is the first one avoided. Mark Steele.
Boy, that offensive line has done a great job blocking. You just saw 2 of them out there blocking for Ray Strong that time. Big first down for the Lions. Ball's at the Ottawa 54. Looking for Strong again. He dodges 1 tackle and then is surrounded by a couple of linebackers, Sowieta and Harrison. Strong dodged the attempted tackle by Charles Cornelius and managed to pick up a couple. 2nd down and 8. Joe Paupau replacing Roy DeWald. He gets good protection, finds DeBrie. And again, DeBrie drops the football at the 25-yard line, and he has not had a good night.
Well, it's too bad for that youngster dropping the football all over the place tonight, although that ball was really kind of stripped with him. Wonder if Al McCann has had the opportunity to find out about Ty Cruz, the great middle linebacker of the Lions, by now. I know a major concern for BC Lions fans.
As a matter of fact, Frank, it's good news. The trainer, Bill Rochelle, to the doctor, they feel it's a hyperextension of the knee, which, of course, is not all that serious. They're going to ice it down. They feel Ty will be ready for the playoff game.
Lou Pasaglia with his first punt of the ball game, and it's a beauty. Hangs it up high to Dave Newman at the 3-yard line. Konar is there to make the stop along with Dennis Jabon near the 15, an 8-yard return, 49-yard kick. We'll be back in a moment with the Lions leading 32-6.
Whoa, I never. Swiss chalet chicken?
Never had it from Gulf. Swiss chalet from Gulf? You've never.
2-quarter chicken dinners?
Never had such a deal.
For $5.92.
Yours from Gulf. A coupon for 2 chicken fries. Never had such a deal.
Only $5.92 for 2?
Great chicken.
Great deal.
Swiss chalet coupons from Gulf.
Hey, Joey, what's she really like? She's the most exciting woman I ever met.
Atari introduces the Woman of the Year, Ms. Pac-Man. Just like the arcade classic, 4 different game screens, floating fruit, even pretzels.
Honey, don't you know I'm more than Pac-Man with a bow?
Reach for Ms. Pac-Man.
Treat, treat, treat for Atari.
Some Ottawa fans have put up a sign indicating that they were looking for Ottawa to be here for the Grey Cup on November 27. Obviously, it's a BC Lions fan sitting next to them. First down for Ottawa at the 14-yard line. Tyrone Cruz with a knee injury is now on the bench. Konar, McNeil, and Blair, the linebackers for BC. They give us to Maurice Doyle, number 39, and he tries the right side of that line, has a gain of about 4. Out to the 18. Skip Walker started the ball game, but did not last too long, and he has been resting ever since. They want him fresh for the Eastern semifinal, which is 1 week from tomorrow. And the opponents that Ottawa will host in that game will be decided tomorrow when Hamilton plays in Montreal, and a game you'll see on the CTV network. Chris Isaac on second down and 5, going deep for Tyrone Gray, who's open. And the former BC Lion takes it all the way. 91 yards.
Well, I'm sure that Ty Gray has gotten a little satisfaction out of that one. Riders have not had a lot to cheer about, but a good throw by Chris Isaac, as Gray had clearly beaten the BC Lions defenders. He's a good 4 or 5 yards behind him.
And this is the longest completed pass of the season, 91 yards.
Well, we got record after record, don't we?
It's amazing. 5th touchdown of the year for Tyrone Gray.
He's JoJo Heath, the right cornerback on that one.
Ty Gray is a happy man as Jerry Organ gets ready to attempt the conversion with Ken Clark doing the holding. It's good, and now it's a 32-13 ball game in favor of the BC Lions. We have 10-17 remaining in the 4th quarter, and we're coming right back.
You take charge, people, taking charge.
You know exactly what you want from your next car.
Taking charge in your own way. You're taking charge with Chevrolet.
Your best buy, period.
Take charge, people.
84 Chevy Celebrity, front-wheel drive high-tech, family-size room, family-size fuel economy, gas or diesel, and a price that's down-to-earth Chevrolet. 84 Chevy Celebrity.
Price the way you want to pay. You're taking charge with Chevrolet.
Hey, Canada.
Welcome to Miller Time. Now through here, it's yours and mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind.
High Life, now available at regular beer prices. Canada, welcome to Miller time.
Dale Isaac with Frank Rigney and Al McCann back at BC Place Stadium. The Ottawa Roughriders preparing to kick off following an exciting 91-yard touchdown. Chris Isaac to Tyrone Gray, the longest pass play of the year in the CFL. Jerry Organ is ready. Ottawa
short kickoff,
looking for a short kickoff here, at least showing the possibility of one. It's not going to go far enough. Didn't go more than 7 yards that time. He has to go at least 10.
BC doesn't care. They'll take it right there. That's
right
at the Ottawa 52-yard line.
That was Mike Hudson, number 23, the rookie for Ottawa that had to play the ball out of bounds. So the Lions will take
Illegal
over.
Kickoff, number 71, Ottawa, decline, first down.
Great field position for the Lions at the Ottawa 51 and a half. 10:15 remaining in the ball game. Lions lead it 32-13. The Lions now are the highest scoring team in the CFL this year with 469 points. Joe Pau is in a quarterback replacing Roy DeWalt, who's probably going to be a candidate for the Cardinal Chiefs offensive stars. John Henry White goes for a first down inside the 40.
Lions have opened up that defensive front wall now of the Ottawa Roughriders and are running the ball much more effectively in their last couple of quarters. .121 yards now in total for BC Lion Ball Club on the ground. Thank you, Bob Lees, our statistician, and Doug Stone for all the work he's done here this evening.
Joe Pau, short hop that one to Mark DeBries. It'll bring up second down.
Boy, in the age of the pass-happy CFL, the stats guys got their hands full trying to keep all of these facts, figures, records, club records, CFL records.
They certainly had a busy year. Pau with all kinds of time. Finds Chapdelaine open, but he's stopped immediately by Ricky Barton after a gain of only a couple, and that'll bring up third down, and we'll see Pasaglia trying a field goal. He's got 6 of them tonight, tying his own club record. If he hits this one, he'll tie the CFL record for field goals in a game. Which is 7, currently shared by Trevor Kennard, Bob McAreedy, the former Saskatchewan Roughrider place kicker.
6 out of 8 right now, is that correct?
Yep. This will be a 44-yarder. Pankratz holds. He missed it. Goes wide to the left. The single point is given up. It's now a 33-13 ball game. The Ottawa Roughriders will take over at the line of scrimmage on the missed field goal, which is the Ottawa 37.
Chapdelaine made that 2-yard reception a moment ago. There's 8:29 remaining now as the Lions enjoying a 20-point lead, trying to pick off their 11th win in 1983.
Chris Isaac goes for Carl Powell, number 3. Stopped immediately by Kerry Parker, who strips the ball away from the receiver, but the play had been whistled dead. It's a gain of about 3 yards to near the 40. Less than 8 minutes remaining in the ball game. The attendance tonight, 42,901.
Oh, what a great year it's been here at BC Place, attendance-wise. Almost a 44,000 average crowd for the Lions, including preseason activity.
Just about double what they got at Empire Stadium. Mike Collymore, the intended receiver, knocked away. That'll bring up third down, and we'll see Ken Clark once more.
Good defense. Andre Jones coming over there, knocking that one down. BC Lions have been very, very pleased, obviously, with their play of their defensive backs this year. Set a CFL record for interceptions. 41 coming into tonight's game.
On 3rd and 7, Clark to punt. JoJo Heath, Larry Crawford are the return men. Good snap this time. And a good kick by Clark. Crawford from the 17, penalty marker down already. Crawford trying to turn the corner and is forced out of bounds. Melvin Berg got over there to throw a block on Lynch, but he had already forced Crawford out after a return of 12, a 52-yard punt by Clark. Tomorrow afternoon on the full CTV network, Pat, Leaf, and Bill will be at the Olympic Stadium in Montreal as the Concords take on the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the showdown for third place in the Eastern Division of the Canadian Football League. The winner of that game will go to Ottawa a week from tomorrow for the Eastern semifinal.
Holding number 11 British Columbia on the return. First down.
Joe Kuklo penalized. First down Lions back at their own 15. The Lions, of course, get a break after tonight's game, and then they'll host the Western Final 2 weeks from tomorrow. Sammy Green no longer with the BC Lions. Papa looking for Pancratz over Simpson at the 35-yard line. The other game tomorrow in the Canadian Football League, of course, is Saskatchewan playing at Calgary, and the Stampeders need a win or a tie to qualify for the Western Division playoffs and go to Winnipeg for the semifinal. Should Saskatchewan win tomorrow, it's Edmonton that's going to Winnipeg. The Eskimos can do nothing but sit back and hope for the best.
Bill, I would like to correct the promo we've been putting up from time to time. You've had it absolutely correct. That ball game is being played in Montreal at the Big O. Our promo on the screen has been suggesting Montreal's at Hamilton. That is not correct. Get out to the Big O. It's in Montreal.
I think they're expecting the biggest crowd in a couple of years in Montreal tomorrow, and that's good. He finally makes the catch out at the 30-yard line for a first down, and he gets a big hand. He's at it up nice.
Pretty good pressure by Greg Marshall on Joe Pawpaw that time. That's something that the Riders have sadly lacked over the course of the season. Well, JC didn't have a chance to come up with any walks. That one tonight.
A couple of the Ottawa Rough Rider defensive linemen jumped offside. Handoff to Ray Strong. He goes right up the middle for 10 yards, stopped by Steve Harrison, along with Mike Graffy, number 42.
I think half the folks out there thought that play was blown dead, and the other half didn't.
It was an offside against the against the Ottawa Rough Riders.
They obviously will take the gain as Strong has picked up a first down, a little over 10 yards on the play. If you can read lips, you'll see that that's correct.
First down for the Lions at their own 42-yard line.
Jim Hope Ross and his officiating staff have not had a tough football game to do tonight, Dale. It's been a very good game as far as penalties are concerned. Not very many at all.
Another penalty flag goes down.
I think that's motion against the Lions.
John Henry White is upset at the 45-yard line by Ricky Barden, number 25. He got down real low on him and flipped him right over.
Oh, boy.
John Henry shaken up.
That could be serious if they lose that guy. I'll tell you, that side of the defensive backfield, Ricky Barden and Ivory Curry, do come to play. They do knock you around.
It's our first look at Ivory Curry, but he likes to hit people, and that was Ricky Barden putting the hit on John Henry White that time.
Well, that looked like John Henry White's neck was disturbed a little bit there. He landed right on the top of his helmet.
Illegal procedure, British Columbia, no end, decline.
Procedure call against the Lions declined. It's second down and 7 from the 45.
Well, obviously, it's a leg that they're concerned about with John Henry. In my mind, no question, one of the most valuable players on the BC Lions Football Club, John Henry White. Don Matthews has said over and over again that, oh, look at how his head was bent as well as his neck. Matthews has said over and over, when he looks at an offensive back, these qualifications are number 1, for him to be a good pass receiver, number 2, a good blocker, and number 3, a good runner. And John Henry White qualifies in all 3 categories, in my opinion.
Total offense for the Lions tonight now over 400 yards. They go to work on second down. Powell completes it to Fernandez, trying to get outside. Ricky Barden is there and hauls him down at the Ottawa 53. It's another first down for BC. Irvin Fernandez has had himself a good night. He's now caught 9 for 97 and a touchdown.
Now, come on, Dale. Is it 8 or 9?
I believe it's 9, according to Bob Lee. He's saying it's 9.
All righty.
First down from the Ottawa 53. The give is to Ray Strong, number 34, and he gets to the 50-yard line for a gain of 3 yards. Randy Fournier now in there defensively for Ottawa, making the tackle along with Greg Marshall, number 66, Fournier, number 63. Second down and 7 from the Ottawa 50, and the extra defensive back checks in. That's John Lynch, number 29. Rick Sovieta, the linebacker, heads out. Powell looking for Pancras. He was all tied up with Ricky Barden on that far side. It goes incomplete. He'll bring up third down. And Pasaglia will be in to punt for only the second time tonight.
Pasaglia hit his first one 49 yards. And, of course, as we mentioned before, he's striving to become the only punter in CFL history to average over 50 yards for the season. May be his last one of 1983 regular season. There's only 3:51 remaining in this ball game.
CFL record for single season. You see it right there. Was set by Joe Zuger, the general manager of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 48.5. 3.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. Another good kick by Pasaglia into the end zone. Dave Newman gives up the single point. It's now a 34-13 ball game, and we have a flag down. Back up the 50-yard line. Greg Marshall and Lou Pasaglia were back there, and it's holding call against Ottawa.
Well, Lou hit that 53, 54 yards. I think he wants it to stand.
Have a discussion now. Penalty is against Ottawa. It would give the Lions a first down, and they would wipe out the single. Both coaches waiting to hear what's going on, get the word from the official. Goes Brancato on the near side, Don Matthews, opposite side of the field. We'll get the call here from Jim Hall-Bross and see what happened. Move it from the 10 to the 5.
Must have meant that holding call was after the Riders had possession of the football. First down. Well, we didn't get a complete explanation of that, but I would assume that that's correct.
Well, they haven't put the single point up on the scoreboard either. On the scoreboard, it still reads 33-13.
Uh-oh. Another one of those controversial.
Uh-oh. Yeah. we don't need that. Now it's 34-13, so they got the single point. First down, Ottawa from the 5-yard line. Isaac from the end zone. Straight down the field. He completes it to Dave Newman, number 19. I think that's his first catch of the night. He takes it for a first down out to the 32-yard line. Lions out in front of the Ottawa Rough Riders, 34-13, and we'll be back with more fourth quarter action in a moment.
When winter winds start to blow, this is where your heating dollars go. But Stanley Weather Stripping seals in heat, seals windows and doors tight and neat. It's easy with Stanley. Just follow the guide to keep winter out and heating dollars inside. Now get a 30% refund on Stanley packaged hardware, 30% on Stanley Our Best Weather Stripping, 30% on Stanley fasteners. Details at these and other participating stores.
1983 Vanier Cup from Varsity Stadium in Toronto. The best of university football here on CTV, Saturday, November 19th.
There's our score. The BC Lions with that single point on the punt by Lou Pasaglia lead at 34-13. We have 3 minutes remaining in the ball game. And the Ottawa Rough Riders are first and 10 now out at their own 32.
Dale, for those of the East who missed the interview with Skip Walker at the half, I might, if they're wondering, the fact that Skip is now taking his uniform off. He's all right. I just chatted with him. He says he injured the leg a little bit, but he'll be fine for next week.
All right, Al, thank you very much. We'll see Ottawa go back to work now. Chris Isaac, the quarterback. Prince McJunkin started the ball game, replaced by Isaac here in the second half. Lions coming with the blitz. He just got the ball away. It's picked off by Larry Crawford. Number 12 of the season for Crawford. He could go in, and he's going to put this one in the end zone. A 45-yard interception return for a touchdown. The second time Crawford's done that this year. As a matter of fact, the only regular defensive back for the Lions that doesn't have an interception return for a touchdown is Nelson Martin.
And you can thank the offensive or the defensive line for the excellent pressure they put on the Ottawa quarterback. I believe it was Reuben Vaughn once again, either here or Mac Moore coming right up the middle, that allowed Larry Crawford to pick off a very easy interception. Larry knows what to do with it once he's got it. The Craw, for the third straight year, the leading interceptor of the BC Lions.
Okay, now we've been informed that they did take the single point away from the BC Lions. Pasaglia converts the touchdown by Crawford, and so now it is a 40-13 ball game.
Bill, I don't understand that because the Ottawa Rough Riders were penalized on the play.
I don't either. But at least we do know that the point on the punt didn't count. Well, one of the explanations is that the ball was in the air when the penalty occurred. Okay.
Thanks, Dale.
That makes sense?
That makes sense to me because I'm not going to argue with you.
All we know for sure is it's a 40-13 ball game, and that's official. We have 2:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Lions on the way to their 11th win of the season. They'll finish at 11-5. Ottawa will finish at 8-8, but a great second half of 1983 for Ottawa. One stretch there, they won 7 out of 8. This is Ivory Curry, number 27 on the return. And he takes it out to the 42-yard line where he's hit by Donnie Taylor, number 19, and Ryan Potter, number 33, a return of 35 yards. Taking a look at the Western Division standings, you see the Lions in first place. They'll host the Western Final. Winnipeg.
I think you could safely update that to 11-5.
That's right. Yeah. Calgary, of course, tied with Edmonton right now. Calgary with the game tomorrow against Saskatchewan. Stampeders have to win or tie to clinch third place and go to Winnipeg for the semifinal. And we'll have that one for you a week from tomorrow on CTV. Isaac going long for Tyrone Gray. He hit him for a 91-yard touchdown earlier in this quarter, and this one is overthrown. We have Brent Reset and Larry Titley exchanging pleasantries. Second down.
Is that what they were doing?
Brent Reset, the second-year man out of UBC, playing that right defensive end spot for the Lions. Putting the pressure on Chris Isaac.
I think that little bump on Isaac is what upset the veteran offensive center of the Ottawa Rough Riders. 2:24 remains now. 2nd and 10.
Isaac in trouble. Ron Circus, number 66, will get credit for a quarterback sack. I think that's the first sack for Ron Circus in a much traveled year for him. And 5 sacks for the Lions tonight.
He had another stop here at the BC.
Well,
he started here, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he started in Saskatchewan. They traded him out here during training camp. And then he ended up going down east. He was in Montreal for a while. He was back in Winnipeg for a while and then returned to Vancouver. And the day he walked into practice, he got a standing ovation from the BC Lions. And he said, "It's all been a bad dream, guys."
Well, I'd like to be his travel agent.
Yeah. Ken Clark's bunt backs Crawford up to about the 16-yard line. Picks up the loose football. Penalty flag is down. They'll charge the Lions with a clip. Crawford has a good return. And he just dropped the football. He may have pulled something while he was running there. And did he drop the football before he went out of bounds?
It looked like it to me, Dale. And nobody got on it.
Well, one of the Ottawa players picked it up, but it doesn't look like they're going to give it to him.
I think Andre Jones, I believe, was the Lion that was caught for the clip back there. Let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, right there.
Number 32. Let's see where he does drop the football. I think he does pop a muscle here.
Yeah.
Illegal block, number 32,
Sure, he
British
dropped the
Columbia.
ball off the playing field.
First down.
Hamstring, left leg, hamstring. Gotta be. They want to keep it well stretched. Look at this. There's no question he drops that football on the field.
Yeah, he pulls up lame right there and just drops the ball. John Lynch stops and actually goes and picks the ball up, but the Lions have it. They're charged with a penalty. They're starting from their own 11-yard line with Donnie Taylor taking the handoff from Pow. And little Donnie Taylor takes it out to the 17 for a gain of 6 yards. But it didn't look like he was going to get anything.
That's a tough little guy right there. He is really tough to bring down. He does not get to play very much anymore now that the Lions have gone to the 2 import offensive backs. As you can see, he carried it only 26 yards all year long.
Crawford being attended to. Second down and 3 for the Lions. Or make it second down and 4. Taylor got 6 yards on that. Now he takes the swing pass from Joe Pow. Gets to the 20, but he'll be a yard short of the first down. Ricky Barden was there for Ottawa defensively, along with Steve Harrison, number 34. Looks like we have a couple more players a little slow in getting out. .121 remaining in the fourth quarter. And it's a 40-13 ball game in favor of the Lions. And this makes up for the 49-19 loss they suffered in Ottawa back on September the 2nd. Third down and 1, and the Lions will go for it. Andre Jones, the 6th defensive back for the BC Lions, that caught the clipping on that last punt return. Pow looks around and then just falls in behind Al Wilson, and we have Donnie Taylor fighting it out with Charles Cornelius and Ken Miller. Cornelius is ready to box it out with somebody.
Actually, Ken Miller and Donnie Taylor were the first 2 people to come into contact with each other, but Cornelius was wanting to get right in there and have some for himself. Maybe you'll pick it up on the left side of your screen. There's Donnie Taylor, number 19. You can't see it on that replay, but here's where the confrontation starts.
It's a first down for the Lions at their 21-yard line. We have penalty flag down. Rough play being charged against both clubs.
Number 22, Ottawa. First down.
Of course, after the play, and Pau had picked up the first down, BC just content now to try and keep possession of this football with just over a minute remaining. The BC Lions, the most successful edition of the West Coast Ball Club in 19 years.
Donnie Taylor for the third straight time. He gains 5. He's out to the 27-yard line. This victory tonight for the Lions will give them an 11-5 record. That's the most wins the Lions have had since 1964. And they won 11, lost only 2, and tied 3 that year. In 1963, the Lions went 12-4. Toronto Argonauts with the best record in 1983 at 12-4. With that victory today, 33-9 over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Best record in the history of an Eastern Division team. 12 wins.
Second and 5. Donnie Taylor again. And he's got another first down. Forced out of bounds by Ivory Curry, number 27, at the 33-yard line. 36 seconds remaining. Well, the Lions certainly have looked good tonight, Frank, as they get ready to host the Western Final 2 weeks from tomorrow, and that was the key for them, is coming out and looking sharp.
Well, they needed this ball game, no question about that, and it's particularly gratifying, I think, to see Roy DeWalt come back after that injury that kept him out of action last week and have such an outstanding game. He was very sharp, particularly with his sharp throwing game. He did not look great throwing the ball deep.
Donnie Taylor takes the handoff from Pau, gets to about the 35 for a gain of a couple. We're number 1. The BC Lions fans responding a little bit to the flashing scoreboard here, as the Lions finish in first place in the Western Division. I see that Joe Kuklo is in the ball game for the Lions as a wide receiver, number 11. This is the first time he's lined up on offense in 5 years. They have to go back to when he was at Simon Fraser, and the backup to John Pancratz was the last time he played offense.
Now, how did you get to know that?
Oh, I found that out yesterday.
Secrets and stuff, eh?
I thought I'd better mention it because it doesn't look like they're going to throw a football his way. Oh, they just might. They do. And he makes his first ever catch. And he might have a first down. No Kuklo, the graduate of Simon Fraser. He's been around the CFL for a few years. Now a member of the BC Lions makes the catch just short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and inches, and this will be the final play of the ball game coming up, with time now having run out on the scoreboard clock. Everybody just in sight. Pau will ground the football, and this one is over, and the regular season ends for both the BC Lions and the Ottawa Rough Riders. The Lions close out the regular season in a big way with a 40-13 victory over the Ottawa Rough Riders. Both teams now get ready for playoff action. Ottawa, a week from tomorrow, will host the Eastern semifinal. The Lions get a 2-week break, and they'll host the Western final 2 weeks from tomorrow, right here at BC Place Stadium. George Brancato, Don Matthews shaking hands at midfield. Don Matthews in his first year as head coach of the BC Lions.
What a satisfying victory for the BC Lions, who've been maligned by a lot of people, Dale, about their offensive efforts in the last 4 or 5 weeks. They came out and put it to them, although the defense certainly was a very prominent factor here today. It gave them the ball on the 1-yard line on one occasion with a blocked punt, and of course Larry Crawford's interception turned into a major score in this 4th quarter for the Lions.
Ty Gray, a former Lion who got a 91-yard touchdown tonight with Terry Parker. Let's go to Al.
I've got head coach Don Matthews with me. Coach, you've got to be very pleased, I would think. Last week, your football team played well defensively. You couldn't get anything offensively. Tonight, it both worked.
Well, you know, sometimes, Al, when you take your players out and the other players that are left playing in, you take your first-team guys out, sometimes they, without even knowing it, let down a little bit. I think that's what happened a little bit in Saskatchewan, plus the fact they played inspired football. Let's give the Saskatchewan Rough Riders credit because they did play very well. But tonight we needed to end on a real strong, positive note, and I thought Roy DeWalt and the offensive line just did a great job, and Roy mixed his plays, and I'm just delighted with ending on this type of a note.
You gave Roy a real good look. He told me before the game he thought he'd play a half. You played him even more than a half. Wasn't that a little bit of a gamble, Coach, with that knee he has?
Well, I felt that if he was going well, and certainly if he wasn't being pressured too much, that because he didn't play last week and because he's not going to play next week, that I wanted to get him a little extra time. And so I said, I'd like you to go 3. And if it's feeling okay, let's just make sure that you get your timing. You're playing so well. I know your confidence will be up, and let's head into it with a good, strong note. And, boy, it worked out well.
You know, there's only one bad note, I would guess, to an otherwise successful evening. Ty Cruz hurt his knee, and right at the end, Larry Crawford may have seen a pull a hamstring or something.
Well, I think Larry got a muscle cramp is what actually happened. He'll be fine, and from what I understand, the preliminary examinations on Ty is that he will be fine also. So I think we got out of it. We got scared with John Henry, but he's also going to be fine, and I think we're going to be 100% going into the Western Final.
And you have 2 weeks now, Coach, which probably is a good thing because Roy's ready to play again.
Well, it was very important for him to have a good game tonight because, you know, holding him out last week in that bye, he needed to get his timing in, and I just feel delighted with how he moved the ball around and controlled the ball on offense.
John, do you have any preference in who you play? Winnipeg, or with 3 teams right now. It can be Winnipeg, it can be Calgary, it can be Edmonton.
I really don't get concerned with those things, Al. You know that. I only try to be concerned with things that I have some control over, and certainly all the teams are in contention of fine football teams, and I'm just sure that we'll put up the best effort we can with whoever shows up.
Well, you've had a marvelous year. It's a good football team, Coach, and of course, we are all very, very saddened by the hearing about your mother, the loss of your mother. You know the condolences of everybody at CTV, and best of luck.
Al, thanks a lot.
Coach Don Matthews of the winning British Columbia Lions. The final score here was 40-13 for the Lions. The CFL on CTV continues in just a moment.
Good morning. The sounds are in stereo, and well, that's a great weekend coming up. News, weather, and sports at 5.
Performance when you need it, gas or diesel. Versatility when you want it. The confidence of proven quality in GMC S15 compact trucks.
Have a nice day, Dad.
Sure did, honey.
Are you sure you really want to go through with this? Well, sure, I'm sure. I've waited long enough. But you've never done it before. So... Anyway, it's easy. Think of the money. Money. Yeah, but money isn't everything. That's easy for you to say. Look, are you with me or not? Well, let's go do it. Yeah.
Sooner or later, nearly everyone puts in the pink. They do it for the money they save. Fiberglass pink.
You'll do it for the money.
Electra Home VCRs have all the features you want. 18-function remote, 2-week, 8-program timer, cable tuning, and more. Electra Home solid-state circuitry and 5-motor direct drive that eliminate up to 500 mechanical parts that can fail. For responsive controls and dependable performance, Electra Home VCRs, the performance you want and more.
Fresh charcoal broiled chicken.
Never had it so good.
It's so good.
You never.
Meaty chalet ribs.
Never had it so good.
It's so good.
You never.
Tangy Swiss chalet sauce.
Never had it so good. You
It's
never.
so good.
You never had it so good.
It's on me.
Never so good or so little.
Knows how to fly a plane.
For the fright of your life, Airplane, a CTV movie special, November 12th.
And now, the Carling O'Keefe Sports offensive and defensive game stars.
Our stars tonight, both with the BC Lions. Roy DeWalt, who came back after a week off, completed 27 out of 37, including a touchdown strike to Mervyn Fernandez. And Reuben Vaughn, who had an outstanding effort at that defensive tackle spot. 1.5 sacks credited to Reuben Vaughn, the youngster in his first year with the BC Lions.
That's your Carling O'Keefe Game Stars, and here's Al McCann.
Okay, Frank, you've said it all. I'll tell you, those statistics tell the story. Ruben and Roy both had outstanding games. Roy, I was talking during the game to you about your knee. It seemed to come through real well, and, of course, that was the acid test.
Well, that's right, and it was a game that we really needed to get us back into the tempo, to get us ready for the Western Final. So I was real pleased with what happened with the offense today. We put some good drives together. We got the ball into the end zone, so overall I was very pleased.
Well, 27 completed passes got to make a quarterback smile, but the offensive line needs some congratulations, too.
Well, that's right. They did an excellent job. I don't think I got sacked once all night, and I just stood back there and had a chance to pick up my receivers, and, hey, what can you say?
2 weeks off. It sounds kind of nice when you say it, but it might be too long.
Well, it's going to give us, again, a chance to heal some of our injuries. It's going to help my knee, definitely. I can start getting some more treatment on it. So I think it's going to help us a lot.
Were those guys, did you get a chance to check on your teammates, Ty Cruz and Larry Crawford?
Yes, apparently, from what I understand, they're both doing fine. Larry caught a cramp, and I think Tyrone just hyperextended his knee, so I think they're both fine.
John Henry got hurt a little bit, too, but
Well, I think John was more scared than anything, so he's going to be okay.
Roy, congratulations again. Thanks for staying around, and best of luck in the Western Final.
Okay, thanks. Thank God.
Okay, let's talk to Ruben here. Ruben, step in here. You had a great game. You guys had pressure on the quarterback all the time tonight.
Well, it's a combination of everybody. Linebackers, defensive backs, back there covering the receivers, and when everything comes together, you just make the sacks, the team ball.
What did you think? Like last week in Saskatchewan, it wasn't a bad game defensively for you guys. They only got 11 points, but as a team, you must have gone away feeling a little empty.
We didn't feel real empty at all because we knew the offense can do it. We had our third-string quarterback in, and that was like a Grey Cup for them because they weren't going to the playoffs. I don't think we went in the game with our heads down. They just came out and played a better game than we did. They were ready more than we took that long flight. I'm not saying any excuse. We had a 4-hour layover, and we went in there, and they were more prepared for us, and they just came out and beat us.
And, of course, they were playing a heck of a game for their home fans. Speaking of home fans, what a great place you play in now. It's electric in here, isn't it?
I love it because I played for San Francisco for 2 years, and that's in the Bay Area, and this reminds me so much of the Bay Area. I just love it in this place. I think I'm going to really love it here.
Can you imagine playing outside tonight?
No, I can't imagine playing outside tonight. That might have been where I played so well because we were inside. We weren't in that storm.
Well, you know, it's home games all the way down the line for you now, the Western Final, and if you reach the Grey Cup right here in BC Place, that's got to be a real plus for you guys.
It's really a good plus for us, including we have a week off. We can heal our wounds and come back and give everything we have because we know if we lose this game, it's to go home. There's no game after that. So keeping that in mind, I think we're going to do very well.
Well, Ruben, you've had a heck of a rookie year. I'll say I wanted to ask you one question. Do you care who comes out here for the Western Final? You got any choice team you want to come?
I really don't care, just long as we make it here. And the other team has to meet us here in our home, and I think that's a good feeling for anybody.
Ruben Vaughn, congratulations. Great game. Best of luck in the playoffs, partner.
Thanks a lot.
Take care. Roy DeWalt and Ruben Vaughn. This is the CFL on CTV.
Hey, Canada. Welcome to Miller Time. Now brewed here, it's yours and mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind. Canada. Welcome to Miller Time, yours and mine.
Miller High Life, now available at regular beer prices. Canada, welcome to Miller Time.
This game brought to you by Carling O'Keefe, brewers of OV, the Carlsberg family, and Miller High Life.
The Canadian Football Hall of Fame, a tribute to the men who have made Canadian football the great sport we know today. Next time you're in Hamilton, be sure to visit this national shrine to Canadian professional football.
Now, Bob Ackles, the general manager of the BC Lions. And first of all, Bob, you're the only BC Lion that's been around right from the beginning. Congratulations. Just an unbelievable year for you.
Yes, it has been, Frank, and it's a nice way to finish our regular schedule at home with a win, especially after last week's display over in Saskatchewan.
We finished the season for you on a very positive note. Let's talk about something that might not be quite as positive. There are stories coming out of Eastern Canada. There's a possibility of the Grey Cup game being switched to Toronto. I understand that's been completely denied by the league.
Yes, it has, Frank. I believe the commissioner denied that story yesterday in Toronto. But there is a problem here with strike, but I don't think it'll affect the Grey Cup game.
Well, before we talk about the Grey Cup, what about the Western Final? You're hosting the Western Final
Yes, we
2
are.
weeks from tomorrow.
We're hosting it here on November 20th.
Is there a contingency plan or any plans at all in the event that there is a general strike?
Not at this time, there isn't, Frank.
What response have you gotten from the BC Place Stadium officials themselves?
Well, they've advised us that the stadium will be open for the game.
Does that mean there might be crossing of picket lines, etc.?
I really can't answer that question at this time. I think that there's a good chance that if there is a strike, that there will be an injunction and there won't be picket lines.
I understand that BC Place is a Crown corporation and there cannot be a strike, or at least illegal.
Well, that's what my understanding of the situation is at this time.
Bob, it's been a fantastic year for you, not only on the field, but also financially.
Well, you know, we don't know what the bottom line is going to be yet, Frank, but we've had a great year in the stadium. In the new stadium here, we've averaged over 45,000 for our team.
That was somewhat above your expectations, I understand.
Yes, it is. We were looking at a conservative average of around 39,000, so we're well above that.
Well, it's been a good year for you, Robert. Congratulations on all counts. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Frank.
Let's go down to field level now with Al McCann.
Well, Frank, we want to echo your sentiments. Bobby Ackles, the whole BC Line organization have had a fine year. I have Fred Fleming, our isolation director, with me. And Fred, we've had the marvelous experience of being in this building now maybe on 3 or 4 occasions. And every time I'm a little odd. It's just a tremendous facility.
Well, I tell you what, Al, I think that anybody... with this new building. It's just tremendous for Bobby Ackles, the entire BC organization.
Well, I certainly hope there's no strike problems, because the Grey Cup game, and for that matter, the Western Final, are going to be marvelous experiences in this building. The Grey Cup tickets are the toughest I've ever seen this year.
Well, you know, I've been known over the years to be pretty good at getting a hold of some, but hey, you're right. It's the toughest buy that I've ever seen, and of course, that's the great part about it. And of course, I think a lot of it has to do with this tremendous building that we have had an opportunity to work in about 4 or 5 times this year.
Well, tomorrow it winds up the regular season, at least with 2 critical games. Our guys, our Eastern fellows, are going to be at that big game in Montreal. That should be a dandy. And then, of course, that Calgary-Saskatchewan game could be interesting.
Well, that's right. I like Montreal, as a matter of fact. I like both home clubs right now. Montreal has been, they've had their problems over the last couple of years, but Joe Gallat has seemed to have gathered the team together, and they've performed very well.
Thank you, Fred, for dropping by. The final score here was 40-13, a very impressive win for the British Columbia Lions, who finish in first place and will host the Western Final against either Winnipeg, Edmonton, or Calgary. And, of course, we'll know more about that in a week's time. The CFL on CTV is copyright strictly for the private use of our audience. Any retransmission, rebroadcast in whole or in part without the written consent of the CTV television network is strictly prohibited.
This is the CTV Television Network.